From above, the Pacific Ocean looks peaceful, endless, and almost motionless.
But beneath this beautiful ocean surface, the planet is not still. The ocean hides a world of pressure, heat, stone, and movement. What seems like silence is only the surface of a much larger story. We now descend into the Pacific Ocean, where the hidden power begins. Above us, the ocean is bright. Below us, the earth begins to reveal itself. The deeper we go, the more the ocean changes from beauty into mystery. The Pacific Ocean is not only a body of water, it is a cover over a moving world. Below this ocean, entire plates of rock move slowly through time. They move too slowly for the eye to see, yet strongly enough to shape the planet. This ocean floor is not an empty place. It is a map written in stone. Every crack beneath the ocean tells us that Earth's crust is under pressure. Here, beneath the Pacific Ocean, pressure builds where no sunlight reaches. The surface above may be calm, but this hidden ocean floor is constantly changing. If the ocean water vanished, the Pacific would not look smooth at all. It would reveal mountains, trenches, fracture zones, and scars carved into the ocean floor. Some of these ocean trenches are deeper than mountains are tall. These are not empty holes in the ocean. They are places where Earth's crust bends downward. At the edges of the Pacific Ocean, one plate can be forced beneath another. This slow descent is the beginning of the Ring of Fire. The Ring of Fire is not a perfect circle of flames. It is a horseshoe of geological pressure around the Pacific Ocean. Around this ocean, tectonic plates meet, collide, slide, sink, and fracture. This hidden boundary crosses the edges of continents, island arcs, and deep ocean basins. Volcanoes rise here because the ocean floor is being recycled into the planet. Some volcanoes reach the sky as islands. Others remain hidden forever beneath the ocean. The ocean hides much of Earth's volcanic power from human eyes. Here, fire does not need the open air. It can build new rock beneath the sea. Under the Pacific Ocean, heat, water, and stone meet in darkness. The seafloor itself seems to breathe where Earth's interior reaches the ocean. These hidden vents show that the ocean floor is not dead rock. Even in darkness, the ocean can turn heat into life. The same force that creates life here can also store enormous danger. Along these boundaries, the ocean floor can become locked in place. The plates keep trying to move, but friction can hold them together. Stress can gather beneath the ocean for decades, or even centuries. The quiet years are not proof that nothing is happening. When a locked boundary finally breaks, slow motion becomes sudden release. This is how the hidden ocean floor can become the source of a powerful earthquake. If the movement is strong and shallow beneath the ocean, the water above can be displaced. A tsunami does not begin as a wall of water. It begins when the seafloor moves. In deep ocean water, this energy may pass almost unseen. The Pacific Ocean can look peaceful while a force is already crossing it. This is the danger of the hidden ocean floor. What happens below can travel far beyond the source. The Ring of Fire connects trenches, volcanoes, earthquakes, and ocean waves into one vast system. And it is not a single doomsday switch. It is a long chain of active tectonic edges. The scale is difficult to imagine because the ocean hides almost everything. From below, the Pacific Ocean feels like a lid over a restless planet. The world above sees waves. The world below holds the engine. Now we understand why the calm ocean surface can be misleading. Beneath the Pacific Ocean, stone descends, melts, rises, locks, and waits. To understand this hidden power, we must follow the ocean floor downward into the process that drives it all.
The Ring of Fire begins not with flame, but with descent. In the next part, we enter the subduction zone, where the ocean floor is pulled back into Earth. Here, beneath the Pacific Ocean, the Ring of Fire begins not with flame, but with descent. At the edge of the Pacific Ocean, one massive plate is being pulled beneath another.
This process is called subduction, the slow return of the ocean floor into Earth.
Oceanic crust is colder and denser than the rock above it, so gravity helps pull it down. The movement is slow, often only a few centimeters each year, but its power is enormous. A motion too slow to watch can still reshape the entire ocean basin. As the ocean floor sinks, it drags sediment, water, and ancient rock downward with it. Water trapped inside minerals begins a journey deep beneath the Pacific Ocean. As the slab sinks, pressure rises, temperature increases, and the hidden chemistry begins to change. The ocean floor does not simply disappear. It transforms the world around it. Water released from the descending ocean plate lowers the melting point of surrounding rock. This is where magma begins, not from random fire, but from pressure, water, and heat. Above the sinking slab, the deep earth starts to melt. The magma rises because it is hotter and lighter than the rock around it. Over time, these rising paths can feed volcanoes beneath the Pacific Ocean. This is why the Ring of Fire is lined with volcanoes. The fire begins deep below, but the ocean hides its first signs. Some magma builds new seafloor without ever touching the sky. When lava meets cold ocean water, it cools quickly and hardens into new stone. The Pacific Ocean floor is not only being destroyed at trenches, it is also being created by volcanic heat.
Subduction destroys old crust, but it also gives birth to volcanic arcs and new terrain.
This hidden engine creates seamounts, volcanic islands, and entire underwater mountain chains. A seamount may look still, but its origin is written in the movement of plates. Where heat escapes into the ocean, the seafloor begins to breathe. Hydrothermal vents are signs that Earth's interior is reaching into the ocean. Minerals carried by hot water build chimneys in the darkness of the Pacific Ocean. In this hidden ocean world, heat becomes chemistry, and chemistry can become life. Even without sunlight, the ocean can support life near the heat of the Earth. Subduction is not only a destructive force, it is also a creator of hidden ecosystems. But the same process that creates heat and life also stores danger along locked boundaries.
Where the descending ocean plate meets the plate above, friction can stop the movement. The plates continue pushing, but the boundary holds them in place.
Energy gathers slowly beneath the Pacific Ocean, hidden from the surface world. For decades or centuries, the ocean above may look completely calm.
The quiet years are part of the earthquake cycle, not proof that nothing is happening. Every locked section is a place where slow motion can become sudden release.
When the boundary finally breaks, stored energy can move the ocean floor in seconds. This is the link between subduction and the largest earthquakes on Earth. The same boundary that creates magma can also lock enough energy to shake entire regions. The subduction connects the deepest trench, the hidden magma, the volcano, and the earthquake.
It is not fire first. It is motion first. The fire comes later.
And when that fire reaches the ocean floor, a new hidden volcanic world begins. Many of the Pacific Ocean's most active volcanoes never touch the sky. They erupt in darkness, under pressure, surrounded by cold seawater. This is where subduction reveals its most dramatic face beneath the ocean.
The sinking ocean plate below has awakened fire above.
The Pacific Ocean floor is being destroyed, melted, lifted, and rebuilt at the same time. Here, the hidden engine of the Ring of Fire becomes visible. Subduction explains why the Pacific Ocean holds trenches, volcanoes, earthquakes, and tsunami danger in one system. Now that we have followed the ocean floor downward, we can follow the fire upward.
In the next part, we enter the world of submarine volcanoes, where fire does not need the sky.
Beneath the Pacific Ocean, the planet is not only sinking, it is beginning to burn.
Beneath the Pacific Ocean, fire does not need the sky to begin.
Here, the Ring of Fire reveals itself in darkness, pressure, and silence.
Most people imagine volcanoes reaching into the air, but many are hidden beneath the ocean.
This volcano has no ash cloud, no mountain skyline, and no watching crowd.
Its power is hidden below the sea, where sunlight never reaches.
Under pressure, even a quiet ocean floor can become a volcanic landscape. Magma rises through fractures, searching for a path into the ocean.
When lava enters the Pacific Ocean, fire and water meet in an instant.
The ocean cools the lava quickly, turning molten fire into new stone.
These rounded forms are pillow lava, one of the signatures of underwater eruption. The ocean floor is being built one cooled layer at a time. A submarine volcano is not only a place of destruction, it is a factory of new terrain. Every slope records older eruptions beneath the ocean, layered in darkness over time. Some eruptions build slowly, while others reshape the ocean floor in sudden bursts. Not every eruption is glowing lava. Sometimes the ocean floor exhales heat through mineral smoke. With
hydrothermal vents form where seawater enters cracks, heats below, and rises again, loaded with minerals.
In the deep ocean, minerals can build towers where heat escapes from the earth. These chimneys are monuments to the hidden connection between the ocean and Earth's interior. The seafloor seems to breathe, exhaling heat from a world far below. Around these vents, the ocean becomes a place of chemistry instead of sunlight. Even here, in darkness, life finds a way to gather around heat.
These organisms do not depend on sunlight. They depend on chemical energy rising from the ocean floor.
Microbes turn minerals into energy, and that energy supports an entire community. The same heat that can destroy also creates a place where life can survive. This is the great contrast of the ring of fire beneath the ocean. It buries old crust, builds new ground, and changes the shape of the seafloor. A volcano beneath the ocean can grow silently for centuries.
Layer by layer, eruption by eruption, it becomes part of the underwater landscape.
Underwater volcanoes are difficult to see, but their signs are written in heat, bubbles, and stone.
An eruption beneath the ocean may leave only chemical changes, floating pumice, and evidence on the seabed.
But the ocean hides the drama, but it cannot erase the record.
After the heat passes, the ocean floor keeps the memory of eruption. New rock is born hot, then sealed quickly by the cold Pacific Ocean.
Here, time is layered across the ocean floor.
Submarine volcanoes can build, collapse, fracture, and rebuild beneath the waves. Even underwater, volcanic slopes are shaped by instability and pressure. Gas, heat, and pressure rise through cracks long after an eruption begins to fade. The volcano becomes a living machine of rock, water, heat, and chemistry. This hidden world proves that destruction and creation are not separate beneath the ocean. Life gathers at the edge of heat, where the deep ocean should seem impossible. Above the vents, the Pacific Ocean remains cold and silent, hiding everything below.
From the surface, none of this fire can be seen.
The ocean hides not just one eruption, but a long history of volcanic change. Across the Pacific Ocean, countless volcanic worlds rise from the seafloor. Some will never become islands, but they still shape the ocean around them. Minerals from these vents paint the ocean floor with traces of Earth's interior. Old vents die, new vents open, and the volcanic system keeps changing. But even in the deep ocean, nothing here is truly frozen in time. The same heat that feeds the vents also reminds us that pressure is still rising below.
A submarine volcano is connected to forces much larger than the vent itself.
Behind the lava and vents lies the same tectonic engine that bends the ocean floor downward. The volcano is the visible breath of a hidden system beneath the Pacific Ocean. But the same boundary that creates volcanic fire can also lock dangerous energy in place. The Ring of Fire does not separate volcanoes from earthquakes. It connects them. Where the plates become stuck, the next story begins. The hidden fire builds new worlds, but the locked boundary stores the power to shake them. In the next part, we enter the locked boundary, where a megathrust earthquake can begin. Here beneath the Pacific Ocean, the hidden fire gives way to a different kind of power. This is where the ocean floor can become locked by friction. The plates continue trying to move, but the boundary resists. The movement does not stop. It becomes stored energy. Over decades or centuries, the upper plate can bend like a spring. The ocean above may look calm while stress gathers below. A megathrust fault can extend for hundreds of kilometers beneath the ocean. Its scale is difficult to imagine because the ocean hides almost everything. The same system that builds volcanoes can also store earthquake energy. Nothing dramatic may happen at the surface for a long time. The quiet years are part of the earthquake, not proof that the ocean floor is still. Stress leaves small signs before the great release. Gas, pressure, and motion reveal that something deep below is changing. The boundary is locked, but the force behind it keeps pushing. This is the silent tension of the Pacific Ocean. Like a compressed spring, the ocean floor holds energy until the locked section can no longer resist. Then, in seconds, the locked boundary begins to fail.
The release starts in one place and races through the boundary.
A vast section of Earth's crust can move in moments. This sudden movement is the heart of a megathrust earthquake. The shaking begins below the ocean, where no city lights can see it. The rupture can travel across an enormous fault surface. This is why the largest earthquakes on Earth are often born at subduction zones. When the ocean floor moves vertically, the water above cannot remain still. The earthquake changes the shape of the seabed in an instant. The first sign of danger is not always a giant wave. but a displacement of the entire ocean column. Far above, the ocean surface may still appear peaceful, but the source has already released energy into the sea. Not every part of the boundary moves the same way.
After the main break, the ocean floor may continue adjusting.
Each adjustment reminds us that an earthquake is not a single simple moment. The surface can hide the scale of what has happened below. The earthquake leaves behind a landscape of broken rock, lifted sediment, and changed pressure.
A fault scar on the ocean floor is the visible wound of hidden energy release.
If enough seafloor moves upward or downward, the ocean itself begins to respond. This is the moment when an earthquake can become something more than shaking. The entire column of ocean water can be disturbed from seafloor to surface. A movement in darkness can send energy toward distant coastlines.
In deep water, this energy may travel almost unseen.
The rupture may last only moments, but the consequences can travel across the ocean. Subduction, friction, rupture, and displacement are linked in one hidden chain. Even after one section breaks, other parts of the ocean boundary may continue to store energy.
This is why the Ring of Fire must be understood as a long-term system, not a single event.
The Earth is not angry. It is releasing stress stored in stone. From above, the Pacific Ocean may still look unchanged.
But beneath that calm ocean surface, the seafloor has already moved.
The danger of a megathrust earthquake is not only the shaking. When the ocean floor shifts vertically, the sea above it can be lifted. This is how the hidden earthquake can become a tsunami. A tsunami begins not as a towering wave, but as the ocean being displaced. In deep water, the first movement may be almost impossible to see.
In the next part, we follow that energy as it crosses the Pacific Ocean and becomes a tsunami.
Beneath the ocean, the boundary has broken. Now the water begins to move.
Beneath the Pacific Ocean, the boundary has broken, and now the water begins to move. A tsunami begins when the ocean floor moves and displaces the water above it. But this is not a wind wave. It is the movement of the ocean from bottom to surface.
The entire ocean column is disturbed, and the energy begins to travel.
In the deep Pacific Ocean, the first sign of a tsunami may be almost invisible. The source may be hidden beneath the sea, but the energy does not stay there. A tsunami can cross enormous distances while the ocean surface still looks calm. But far from shore, the Pacific Ocean may show almost no dramatic height.
The danger is not always in what the eye can see. The wave is long, fast, and filled with energy. Across the Pacific Ocean, the energy moves over landscapes hidden far below the surface. Even underwater mountains feel only a passing motion as the energy continues outward. In deep water, the tsunami is not yet the image people fear. It is not a wall from nowhere. It is energy moving through water. Rock moved first, water followed, and now the ocean carries the message. From above, the Pacific Ocean can still look peaceful while the force is already traveling.
This is why tsunamis are so dangerous. The ocean can hide them until they approach shallow water.
As the wave nears of shallower ocean, the story begins to change. The ocean becomes shallower, and the long wave begins to slow. The seafloor starts to slow the wave from below.
As the wave slows, its energy is squeezed into a smaller space.
The hidden motion begins to grow into visible force. Near shore, the ocean floor feels the change first. The energy that was almost invisible in deep water now begins to rise. The ocean surface changes because the whole water mass is being forced upward. What was low and fast in deep water becomes higher and more dangerous near shore. A tsunami near shallow water is not just a wave. It is a moving mass of ocean. Sometimes the first warning is a strange retreat of the sea. When the ocean pulls away suddenly, it can be a sign that a stronger surge is coming. The ocean does not always announce danger with height. Sometimes it begins with motion. Then the sea returns with the energy gathered across the basin. The force is not only above the surface, it moves through the full depth of the water. This is why even a modest-looking tsunami can carry enormous power. Near shore, the Pacific Ocean can transform from calm surface into a relentless moving force.
The source may be far away, but the result can arrive with little time to react.
Below the surface, the tsunami is a current as much as a wave.
The shape of the ocean floor can focus and strengthen the moving water.
Every coastline receives the energy differently because every seafloor is shaped differently.
A tsunami is physics. Rock moves, water is displaced, and energy spreads.
The chain begins at the ocean floor and ends wherever the energy reaches shallow water. To understand a tsunami, we must connect the quiet surface to the hidden seafloor. The ocean remembers the movement long after the first rupture has passed. One movement in darkness can send waves across thousands of kilometers of ocean. This is why the Pacific Ocean demands understanding, not panic. Fear alone does not save lives. Understanding the mechanism does. Science cannot stop the ocean floor from moving, but it can listen. Warnings begin with measurement, observation, and respect for the ocean. The more we understand the deep ocean, the better we can live with an active planet. The Pacific Ocean is dangerous because it is alive with movement, but it is also readable. After the surge, the ocean may look peaceful again. But beneath that calm blue surface, the same geological system continues to work. The tsunami is not separate from the volcano, the trench, or the earthquake. It is one chain of motion beneath the Pacific Ocean. Even after disturbance, the deep ocean continues to create life around heat. The same hidden forces that can threaten coastlines also build new worlds beneath the sea. The Ring of Fire is both warning and creation, danger and renewal.
Here, life survives not by conquering the ocean, but by moving with its relentless forces.
The same forces that sculpt these waves will soon carry the influence of Antarctica north, bringing with them the deep, cold breath of the ice. We are now entering the Drake Passage, the gateway to the frozen continent. Here, the ocean currents collide with the first signs of ice. Moving beyond the ice, the ocean reveals its power. And there, on the edge of the world, a shape unlike any cloud or wave beckons. As we push through the swirling mist of the Southern Ocean, the first signs of the Antarctic ice begin to emerge. Plunging beneath the surface reveals the true architects of this world. Immense ribbons of current flow across the seabed, moving mountains of ice unseen. Rising from the depths, the ocean reveals its true power. The living wind of the Drake Passage gives way to the silent majesty of Antarctic ice. Here, the Drake Passage reveals itself as a living system. We move now towards the story of the ice. Emerging from the mist of the violent Southern Ocean, the first giants appear. Blue and white sentinels, beginning their long voyage north. Emerging through the mist, the great glacier stands silent, a wall of frozen history, while the dark waves crash below. Against these walls of blue ice, the waves of the Southern Ocean spend their fury, a timeless battle between water and frost. Antarctica holds its secrets in the ice, a vast, frozen memory, contrasted by the restless sea. Adrift in the formidable swells of the Drake Passage, this solitary iceberg begins its final voyage, a silent messenger from the deep south. Rising from the turbulent ocean, the iceberg's visible peak suggests the immense mass hidden beneath the waterline. Below the turbulent surface, the true scale of the iceberg is revealed, a colossal structure of ancient ice extending deep into the dark ocean abyss. Here, beneath the waves, the ancient ice begins its slow, inevitable return to the sea. Meltwater streams carry...
Here, frozen land meets the moving sea. This quiet exchange of meltwater fundamentally alters the ocean's chemistry and currents.
Rising from the depths, we witness the sheer magnitude of the iceberg. Here, wind and wave collide with millennia of compressed ice. The Drake Passage possesses a raw power unmatched anywhere on Earth, constantly reshaping the Antarctic coastline.
The ocean slowly breaks, moves, and transforms the frozen landscape, demonstrating an unstoppable force.
Wonders. Here, at the edge of the Antarctic, the Drake Passage lives up to its fearsome reputation. A place of raw power.
Between these towering monoliths, the ocean's fury is trapped, a violent contrast to the stillness of the ice. Leaving the icy embrace of the bergs, the open ocean beckons. Here, the world of ice merges with the dark,
The Drake Passage is a place of immense power. Here, the ocean's ceaseless current demonstrates that even the most ancient...
Passing through the arch, the true scale of the Southern Ocean reveals itself. Dark waters and floating ice stretch toward the distant peninsula.
The dramatic currents of the Drake Passage carry these ice fragments, a visual testament to the hidden power of the Antarctic circumpolar current below.
Beneath the surface, the cold currents begin their journey, a vast planetary pathway moving ice and water in a cycle spanning the entire globe. As the meltwater trails sink and spread, the ocean absorbs the cold freshwater memory, fundamentally altering the deep currents.
Here, the ocean reveals its true complexity. Layers of temperature, salt, and melting ice converge in a dynamic, Global climate space. Emerging from the depths, the visualization reveals the vast currents circling Antarctica, accelerating as they funnel through the narrow Drake Passage.
What appears as energy from space is revealed at the surface as the immense power of the ocean, where the exchange of cold water drives global circulation. The sheer power of the ocean is evident here. Yet, this small autonomous research buoy shows us that even this battered by the relentless waves of the Drake Passage, this solitary buoy continues its silent vigil, recording the vital statistics of the Southern Ocean.
Even as the storm rages above, deep beneath the waves, the true power of the ocean currents remains constant, observed by silent scientific sentinels.
Here, in the vast expanse of the Drake Passage, the ocean itself becomes an observatory without...
Rising from the depths, the ocean's true power becomes evident. The hidden currents measured below reveal a climate story unfolding violently at the surface.
The Drake Passage, a turbulent gateway where the world's oceans converge, driven by forces that shape the global climate. As the massive iceberg slowly turns, the powerful waves carve deep into its base, demonstrating the relentless force of the warming sea. Here, the ancient ice surrenders to the sea. Drop by drop, the Antarctic meltwater begins its long voyage.
As the wind strengthens, the ocean reminds us that even climate processes are wrapped in violence, motion, and the profound cold of the water.
Here, at the edge of the world in the Drake Passage, the ocean reveals itself as a vast, powerful transport system.
Look closely at the foam lines stretching eastward. They reveal a massive circulation pattern moving far beyond the confines of the Drake Passage.
Hidden beneath the waves, the deep currents silently carry the signals of a changing climate, a powerful force shaping the planet's future.
These luminous currents represent the raw, physical power of the Drake Passage, connecting surface life with the deepest reaches of the ocean. The ocean currents are relentless. They transport these fragments across the globe, even as the warming waters slowly begin to break them apart.
Cast adrift from the frozen continent, these fragments begin their final journey, surrendered to the warming currents. Life here is defined by the elements. The albatross, master of the wind, navigates the turbulent sea and the towering ice of the Drake Passage.
These waters are a reminder that some forces are far greater than any single creature.
As the storm finally recedes, the ocean reveals its true, powerful rhythm, a reminder of nature's enduring strength. In the Drake Passage, where Earth's motion becomes visible, the softening storm reveals the relentless drift of ancient ice. We descend into the ancient currents, a restless ocean, shaped by the relentless wind and the slow march of ice, a world unfinished. As the camera turns south, we see the true source of global ocean influence. Antarctica. As the last signs of the continent vanish behind us, we face the raw power of the open ocean. Pure wind, pure water, planetary scale. Here, the ancient forces of geography, wind and current converge, shaping the very face of the planet. Here, at the edge of the world, the clouds momentarily part, revealing the terrifying beauty of the Southern Ocean. Each wave carries the memory of wind, hidden current, deep seafloor, drifting ice, and the cold breath of Antarctica. As the last iceberg yields to the dark sea, the ocean continues its timeless journey, carrying the memory of Antarctica. Here, in the vastness of the Drake Passage, no map, no ship, no instrument, and no human voice can truly tame this waterway. The immense power of the Southern Ocean is revealed as storm clouds and drifting ice merge with the dark sea of the Drake Passage. As this six-part journey concludes, the Drake Passage reminds us that the ocean is still alive, still violent, and still beyond human control.
Between desert and deep ocean, the Red Sea hides a world far more alive than its surface suggests. From above, this ocean looks narrow, but below the surface, it opens into a vertical kingdom. The desert disappears, the heat fades, and the ocean begins to reveal its hidden world.
At first, the reef looks like paradise, a living ocean city filled with colour, fish, and light.
But this beauty is not peaceful in a simple way. Every fish here lives close to danger.
In this ocean, coral is not only shelter, it is a maze where every path can become a trap. The Red Sea Ocean is a corridor of predators, where every layer has its own hunter.
Beyond the reef edge, the ocean changes. The blue becomes deeper, quieter, and more dangerous.
Hammerheads patrol the blue, reef sharks guard the walls, barracudas wait in the current, and silent hunters hide below. So who truly rules this narrow ocean corridor? The answer begins here. Inside, to understand who rules this ocean, we must begin with the reef, the living city where every hunt starts.
For small fish, the reef is protection. But for predators, it is also a map.
Every shape has meaning here. A narrow branch can save a fish, and a narrow passage can guide it toward danger. In this ocean, fear moves faster than teeth. One shadow can change the entire reef. The reef does not simply hold life. It organizes life, forcing fish, hunters, and currents into patterns.
Even the open sand is part of the ocean's design. It looks empty, but hidden hunters may be waiting below. Power in the ocean does not always come from above. Sometimes it waits silently beneath the floor.
The Red Sea Ocean is narrow from above, but underwater it rises in layers, and each layer has its own danger.
Where the reef ends, the blue begins. And in that open ocean, a different kind of ruler moves.
This is why the question is not only which creature is strongest. The real question is, which predator controls which layer of the ocean?
Beyond the reef wall, the Red Sea Ocean opens into a deeper world, where distance itself becomes power. The hammerhead does not need to rush. Its shape alone tells every fish that the open ocean is not empty.
Its strange head is not a mystery of design. It is a living sensor built to read the ocean.
This predator connects layers, from coral walls to deeper water, from visible reef to hidden blue.
The Red Sea Ocean is not only narrow, it is vertical, and the hammerhead uses that vertical world. Down here, the reef is no longer a city of color. It becomes a memory of light above the hunter. Its presence travels ahead of its body. The fish feel the pressure before the shadow fully arrives.
The hammerhead may rule the blue edge, but the reef itself still protects those fast enough to read the warning.
In this ocean corridor, even after the shadow leaves, the behavior of the reef has already changed.
But the hammerhead does not rule the coral itself. Closer to the reef, another hunter keeps the ocean city alert.
But the hammerhead does not rule the coral itself. Closer to the reef, another hunter keeps the ocean city alert.
A reef shark does not need violence to command attention. Its patrol alone sends a warning through the ocean.
Here, power is rhythm. The shark follows the wall, and the fish reshape themselves around its path.
The reef gives fish places to hide, but it also gives predators routes to follow.
A single shark can turn open water into risk, and a safe path into a difficult choice.
Not every reef shark moves the same way. Some patrol the edge, while others wait inside the hidden architecture of coral.
In the Red Sea Ocean, even a resting predator changes how fish use space. In shallower ocean light, another reef shark carries the same message. The open edge is never neutral. These sharks do not simply hunt fish. They shape the behavior of every fish that shares the reef. Reef sharks rule the patrol line, but above the coral and inside the current, another predator waits like a silver blade.
Reef sharks rule the patrol line, but above the coral, another predator waits in perfect stillness.
Barracuda do not command the ocean by size. They command it by timing, patience, and sudden speed. In this narrow ocean corridor, stillness can be more frightening than motion. One break in the pattern, and the quiet ocean becomes a chase.
The reef saves some fish, but the open water always demands a price for hesitation.
But not every hunter in the Red Sea Ocean needs speed. Some rule by waiting inside the reef itself.
The grouper does not need the whole ocean. It only needs one cave, one ledge, and one careless fish.
Below the reef, the ocean hides another kind of power, silent, flat, and almost impossible to see.
The ray does not patrol the wall or chase through the current. It reads the ocean floor like a secret map.
So who truly rules this narrow ocean corridor? The answer is not one creature.
The Red Sea Ocean does not begin with predators alone. It begins with the reef that makes predators possible. The Red Sea Ocean does not begin with predators alone. It begins with the reef that makes predators possible.
A reef is a city built by living animals, filled with streets, rooms, tunnels, and hidden doors.
Every narrow path can protect a fish, but every narrow path can also guide it toward danger. In this ocean, danger often arrives first as pressure, not as teeth.
The reef creates choices, and in a predator's ocean, every choice has a cost.
Grazing fish feed in the open, but they never forget the shelter behind them.
Small fish survive by reading space, current, shadow, and distance to coral.
A school can disappear into coral in a heartbeat, leaving the ocean above it silent. The reef protects life by hiding it, releasing it, and hiding it again.
But the same shelter that protects prey can also conceal a hunter.
Predators learn these paths because the reef teaches fish where they must pass.
A gap that lasts only a second can become the most dangerous place in the ocean.
Safety is never permanent here. It is borrowed from the shape of the reef. This is why the Red Sea Ocean feels larger than it looks. It is narrow, but it is layered.
Between coral walls, even sand becomes part of the hunting system.
What looks empty from above may be crowded with hidden life below.
The reef connects the bottom, the wall, the current, and the blue water beyond. A shallow coral garden can become a deep wall in only a few meters.
At this edge, the ocean is divided into those who hide and those who hunt.
Current turns the reef into motion, and motion reveals where fish must go.
To feed in the current, fish must risk exposure. To survive, they must measure every meter.
Not every predator is a giant. Some are smaller pressures that keep the reef alert.
In the reef city, position can matter more than speed.
A healthy reef supports many kinds of fish because it creates many kinds of opportunity.
Where there are many fish, there are many eyes, many warnings, and many chances for a hunter.
The reef can look peaceful until every fish vanishes at once.
Survival here is a rhythm of leaving, hiding, and returning.
The architecture of coral decides how the ocean moves. At the slope, the reef becomes a border between the crowded city and the unknown blue. The closer fish stay to structure, the more choices they have when danger arrives.
The blue beyond the wall is not empty space.
it is another hunting ground.
This is the first lesson of the Red Sea Ocean. Predators are not separate from the reef. They are products of it.
The reef keeps fish alert, and alert fish keep the entire ocean city moving.
Every meal is a calculation. How far from shelter? How long in the open? How close to the current?
The reef is not one solid wall. It is a network of safe zones divided by danger.
Ambush does not need open space. It needs a place where prey must pass.
Even one coral tower can contain many worlds: surface, shelter, shadow, and risk.
The more complex the coral, the more complex the hunt becomes.
A healthy reef creates density, and density brings both abundance and danger.
Where current touches coral, food arrives, fish gather, and predators learn to wait. Where current touches coral, food arrives, fish gather, and predators learn to wait.
Above the coral is opportunity. Inside the coral is safety. Between them is the risk that shapes every fish. The reef begins every hunt, but not every hunter stays inside it.
The reef surface holds small fish, the caves hold patience, the sand holds secrets, and the blue holds distance.
Where the wall ends, the reef stops controlling everything, and the open ocean begins to take over.
This boundary is one of the Red Sea's most powerful places, where shelter ends and true open water begins.
Beyond the reef, power belongs to animals that can read distance, depth, and current.
And when the reef wall falls away, one of the Red Sea's most iconic shadows begins to appear.
The reef has shown us where every hunt begins. Now the ocean will show us what moves beyond its walls.
Beyond the reef, the Red Sea Ocean belongs to distance, depth, and shadows.
The hammerhead is not a reef hunter. It is a reader of open ocean space.
Its strange shape is not weakness. It is a tool built to sense the hidden signals of the ocean.
Here, the coral city fades, and the ocean becomes a map of current, depth, and motion. The Red Sea is narrow from the sky, but underwater it falls into a vertical world. A predator that can move through depth has access to a larger world than a reef-bound hunter.
This is the hammerhead's power. Not only strength, but access to many layers of the ocean. It follows invisible roads where current carries scent, movement, and the possibility of prey.
The hammerhead does not need to enter the reef to make the reef feel watched.
Small fish answer the shark with distance, shelter, and sudden silence.
This is not the rule of constant attack. This is the rule of presence.
Its body is built to search, to sense, and to move across ocean space with patience.
Farther from coral, the ocean becomes less visible, but not less alive.
Out here, the hunter belongs to the space between what can be seen and what can only be sensed.
When it returns toward the reef, the ocean reacts before the shadow reaches the wall.
The hammerhead rules the open edge, but coral still gives smaller fish a chance.
From inside the reef, the blue ocean is not empty beauty. It is exposure.
A single passing shadow can freeze a reef more completely than a sudden strike.
When the hammerhead leaves, the fish move again, but the memory of the open blue remains.
When the hammerhead leaves, the fish move again, but the memory of the open blue remains. But the hammerhead does not rule the coral itself.
Closer to the reef, power moves in a different rhythm. Here, the reef shark becomes the moving pressure along the coral border.
It does not need to be the largest predator to change the order of the reef.
The reef gives fish shelter, but the shark turns every open lane into a decision.
A channel is not just a passage. With a shark nearby, it becomes a test.
The reef shark reads edges, walls, current, and hesitation.
Its power is not chaos. Its power is order.
Once the patrol passes, the reef relaxes, but never completely. Some reef sharks patrol in motion. Others turn the hidden spaces of coral into quiet danger. Even resting, a predator changes the way fish approach the reef. In shallower light, another shark carries the same ancient pressure.
The blacktip moves through sunlight, but its message is the same. Open water is never neutral.
The shark does not simply search for food. It shapes the movement of everything smaller than itself.
From inside the coral, even a passing shark becomes the sky of danger.
Predators create caution, and caution shapes where fish feed, hide, and travel. This is why reef sharks matter, even when they do not strike. Walls, channels, slopes, and currents give sharks edges to follow. The reef learns the rhythm of patrol, and every fish inside it learns to answer.
Current brings information, and a shark knows how to read it.
Here, the Red Sea's narrow shape does not limit life. It compresses it. Reef sharks rule not by owning every space, but by making every space matter.
But the patrol line is not the only zone of power.
Above the coral, in the open lanes of the ocean current, another hunter waits for one perfect moment.
The hammerhead rules the blue edge. The reef shark patrols the wall. But speed is about to change the rhythm of the ocean. Part of the Red Sea is ruled by depth, part by patrol, and now the current belongs to the silver blades.
In the current above the reef, the Red Sea ocean changes rhythm again. Barracuda do not rule by size. They rule by stillness before speed.
The ocean looks calm, but every fish beneath them is calculating distance to shelter.
For prey, the reef is safety. For barracuda, the space just outside it is opportunity. A current can become a corridor, and a corridor can become a trap.
One instant of hesitation, and still water becomes a chase.
The reef saves the quick, but the open ocean punishes the separated.
Barracuda power lives in contrast. Long patience, then one precise explosion of speed.
Where current touches coral, food gathers, fish gather, and predators learn the timing.
The current feeds the reef, but it also exposes every fish that moves too far from shelter.
In this layer of the ocean, Power belongs to the animal that knows when not to move. A school survives by becoming one body, one turn, one warning. Barracuda do not chase chaos. They look for the one place where order breaks. A few meters of separation can turn a bright ocean lane into danger. Speed is not only movement, it is the ability to arrive before escape becomes possible. After every burst, the ocean returns to stillness, but every fish remembers the cost of drifting apart.
The reef shark controls the wall, but barracuda control the open lane above it.
Their bodies are built for clean acceleration, with no wasted movement and no warning. The barracuda waits like a blade, because the ocean will bring the moment to it.
Around it, the reef moves, the fish move, the current moves. The hunter waits.
The fish know the roof of the ocean can become a strike from above. In the Red Sea, the same current that brings food also brings risk.
Barracuda are not the only fast hunters here. The current attracts many predators built for sudden pursuit.
Trevally bring weight to speed, turning the open lane into a moving wall of pressure.
Every fast predator makes the reef more valuable to the fish that can reach it.
Here, speed has many shapes, each one reading the same current in a different way. The open lane rewards hunters that can cross distance before prey can organize.
But among these fast hunters, barracuda remain the masters of the sudden moment.
The reef creates the passage, the current sets the direction, and the barracuda waits where both become one.
This is not random hunting. It is structure, timing, and reaction.
In the rule of reaction time, survival belongs to those who turn first. Speed rules the open lane, but coral still rules the final refuge.
This is why no predator controls the whole ocean. Each ruler has a boundary.
After the chase, the reef becomes more cautious, more organized, more alive to danger.
Predators shape the ocean even when they do not feed.
The map is not drawn in sand or stone. It is drawn in movement.
For the viewer, they are beautiful. For the reef fish, they are the shape of the open water's danger.
The Red Sea Ocean gives them a perfect stage. Clear water, strong current, and fish forced close to structure.
But the reef has predators that do not need open water or sudden acceleration.
Below the silver hunters, the reef holds a slower kind of power.
Here, dominance is not measured in speed, but in position.
A cave can be shelter. It can also be a mouth in the architecture of the reef.
After the speed of the current, the Red Sea Ocean now reveals the power of waiting. The current belongs to the silver blades, but the caves belong to hunters that never need to chase. To understand the next ruler of the Red Sea, we must leave speed behind and enter the shadows. In the next layer, the Red Sea Ocean will show us that silence can be just as dangerous as speed. Here, the Red Sea Ocean leaves speed behind and enters the kingdom of patience.
The grouper does not need open ocean speed. It controls one place completely.
Its greatest weapon is not only its body, it is position.
The reef builds the stage, and the grouper chooses the best place on it.
A predator does not need to strike to control the movement of fish.
This is ownership through stillness, a small kingdom ruled by waiting.
In the reef, the most dangerous distance can be the last few inches. A ledge is not just rock. It is a boundary between visibility and surprise. The Red Sea Reef is full of doors, but not every door leads to safety.
The grouper's world is not wide like the hammerheads, but inside this structure, its control is complete.
And in smaller cracks of the same ocean city, another hidden hunter waits.
The moray does not need a wide territory. It turns a crack in the reef into danger.
In this layer of the ocean, visibility belongs to prey, but concealment belongs to the hunter.
The reef does not only create shelter for fish, it creates invisibility for predators.
Every fish that passes this crack must decide how close is too close.
Inside the reef, the ocean becomes a maze of safe routes and forbidden openings.
Some predators dominate by making fish avoid spaces they cannot see into.
The reef gives life many exits, but every exit opens into another risk.
Grouper and moray share the same lesson. In the reef, structure can be stronger than speed.
But not all hidden power waits inside the coral.
Below the reef, the ocean floor hides a quieter kind of hunter.
The sand seems empty because the predator has become part of it.
The ray does not chase through open water. It reads the ocean floor.
Its body is built for the lowest layer, where pressure, scent, and movement leave quiet traces.
To larger predators, the sand may look empty. To the ray, it is full of signals.
A small movement under the sand can become a message only the bottom hunter understands.
The cave, the crack, and the sand are different worlds, but all belong to the same ocean system.
Power does not always cast a shadow overhead. Sometimes it waits beneath a thin layer of sand. The danger disappears not because it leaves, but because it becomes invisible again.
The sand is not a gap between important places. It is an entire layer of the hunt.
In this lower world, the hunt happens through contact, pressure, scent, and patience.
Each hidden predator controls a different part of the reef's lower architecture.
The grouper holds the cave, the moray holds the crack, and the ray reads the sand.
For a small fish, one journey across the reef can pass through several kingdoms of danger.
This is not chaos. It is a layered order built by coral, sand, and patience.
The Red Sea is not ruled from one throne. It is divided into many small territories. Some rulers move across great distance. Others make one small place dangerous every day. But none of these hunters owns the whole ocean. Each rules only the layer it understands best.
Now the answer becomes clearer. The Red Sea is not a kingdom of one predator, but a system of many layers.
The hammerhead owns the blue edge, the reef shark patrols the wall, the barracuda controls the current, and the hidden hunters rule the structure below.
Above all of them, the reef itself writes the rules.
It creates shelter, ambush points, current breaks, sand borders, and the density of life that makes predators possible.
To ask who rules the Red Sea is really to ask who controls which layer.
The final answer is not hidden in one bite, one cave, or one shadow. It is hidden in the balance between them.
In the final layer, the Red Sea Ocean will reveal that dominance is not a crown. It is balance. After all these layers, the answer begins to emerge.
The Red Sea is not ruled by one creature. It is ruled in layers.
It owns the open edge, but it does not own the reef itself.
The reef shark rules the patrol line, making the coral edge a place of constant calculation.
Its power is not only what it eats, but how every fish moves when it appears.
Above the coral, the barracuda rules the moment when stillness becomes speed. In the open lane, reaction time can become the difference between survival and disappearance.
Inside the reef, the grouper rules by patience and position.
It does not need to cross the ocean. It makes one cave dangerous every day.
The moray rules the cracks, where invisibility becomes control. On the sandy floor, the ray rules the world that many predators ignore.
It reads the floor the way a shark reads open water. Each predator rules a place, but none of them rules the entire ocean alone.
The real structure is not a throne. It is a map of layers.
For small fish, survival means knowing which layer belongs to which hunter. Predators create caution. Caution shapes movement. Movement shapes the reef. A reef is more than coral. It is coral plus fish, grazers, predators, current, sand, depth, and time.
When predators disappear, the ocean does not simply become peaceful. It becomes different.
A reef may still look alive, but one invisible layer of control can be missing.
A predator's presence is part of the reef's rhythm. The grouper changes how fish use the cave. The barracuda changes how fish hold together.
The ray changes how life moves across the bottom.
Each predator is a warning, a boundary, and a force in the movement of the reef.
Balance does not mean peace without danger. Balance means every role still exists.
The Red Sea is narrow, but vertically it becomes an entire world.
Its narrow shape does not limit life. It compresses life into intensity.
Coral, current, sand, caves, and depth all sit close enough for predators to share the same corridor.
A fish does not experience the ocean as scenery. It experiences the ocean as choices.
Even in calm water, the reef remembers danger.
A hammerhead may own the blue edge. A reef shark may patrol the wall. A barracuda may control the open lane.
A grouper may hold the cave. A moray may guard the crack.
A ray may read the sand. But the system belongs to all of them, and to none of them alone.
Above all predators, the reef itself rules the rules.
It builds the shelters, the hunting lanes, the current breaks, and the density of life. Without the reef, the predators lose the structure that gives their power meaning. Without predators, the reef loses part of the pressure that keeps it dynamic. Caution shapes movement. Movement shapes feeding. Feeding shapes coral. Coral shapes shelter.
And shelter shapes the next generation of reef life.
This is the Red Sea's real power. Not one monster, but a living network.
Dominance here is not noise. It is pressure moving quietly through every layer.
From above, this may look like one narrow sea. Beneath the surface, it is many worlds stacked together.
Every fish, every coral branch, every shadow, and every current carries part of the answer. The question was never only who is strongest. The question was, who belongs to which layer?
The answer is, not one king.
The Red Sea is ruled by balance, fragile, ancient, and moving quietly through every layer of the reef. A hammerhead may own the blue edge, but the blue edge is only one part of the story.
A reef shark, a barracuda, a grouper, a moray, and a ray each hold a different piece of power.
But no piece is the whole ocean.
The real ruler is the relationship between them.
In a world so narrow, steep, and alive, dominance is not a crown. It is balance.
In northern Norway, land does not end gently. It breaks apart into fjords. Here, the ocean is not scenery. It is the force that decides where life can remain.
The coast is shaped by wind, ice, and ocean, and every edge feels exposed to the next storm. In winter, the light can fade for weeks, and the ocean turns almost black beneath the Arctic sky. Small fishing villages cling to the ocean's edge, as if one more storm could pull the world into the dark water below. These houses do not stand apart from the ocean. They survive by staying close to it, and by respecting its power.
The ocean gives fish movement, memory, and danger. It feeds the coast, then tests it without warning.
This is not the soft coastline of a warm sea. It is a place of cold currents, rough weather, and sudden life. The ocean cuts into the land through fjords, carrying salt, cold, food, and the rhythm of survival. From above, the coast looks frozen and severe. But beneath the ocean's surface, nothing is still. The secret of this coast begins below the waves, where the ocean moves long before life becomes visible. Above the sea is wind and ice. Below the sea is current, darkness, and hidden energy. In this cold ocean, life begins quietly, almost invisibly, in the movement of water and light.
The smallest life in the ocean prepares the way for fish, birds, whales, and people.
When the ocean gathers enough food, small fish arrive, and the silence begins to change.
A single fish is fragile, but in the ocean, thousands can move like one living body. The Arctic Ocean teaches life to move together, to read pressure, shadow, current, and danger.
Above the sea, wings begin to gather. Below the sea, silver movement calls the coast awake. The birds read the ocean from above, searching for the first signs that fish have risen. Even the wind becomes part of life here, lifting wings above the restless ocean. The fjord looks silent from far away, but the ocean beneath it is beginning to concentrate life. Then, from the cold ocean, a breath appears, proof that giants have followed the fish. The ocean has sent a signal, and the largest hunters in these waters are beginning to answer. Nothing here is random. The ocean gathers prey, and every predator must arrive at the right moment. The same fish that shine beneath the sea also lift life into the sky. Here, ocean, mountain, bird, fish, whale, and village are not separate stories. They belong to one system. Northern Norway is alive because warm and cold meet at the edge of the ocean. The sea gives, and the sea tests. It opens the coast, then closes it with storm and ice.
People do not conquer this ocean. They build beside it, waiting for weather, fish, and season to allow life forward.
A harbor here is more than shelter. It is the thin line between the village and the open ocean.
In winter, the ocean becomes a dark mirror, reflecting a sky that barely remembers the sun.
Yet even in darkness, the sea keeps moving, carrying warmth from far beyond the frozen north. The first answer to this coast lies under the waves, where currents soften the Arctic edge. Warm Atlantic water pushes north into a polar world, and the ocean becomes a living boundary.
Where ocean water mixes, nutrients rise. Where nutrients rise, the smallest life begins to bloom.
Plankton feeds small life. Small life feeds fish. Fish will soon call the giants back into the ocean. Plankton feeds small life. Small life feeds fish. Fish will soon call the giants back into the ocean.
Before the whales arrive, before the birds scream, the ocean gathers itself into one shining mass.
The fjord becomes a stage, and the sea prepares the first great drama of winter. One breath appears, then another. The ocean has brought the hunters into the fjord.
Orcas arrive with intelligence, patience, and the precision required by this unforgiving ocean.
The fish tighten, the water changes, and the ocean begins to organize around the hunt.
Above and below the sea surface, every movement is connected by the ocean.
Then the larger giants rise, turning the cold ocean fjord into a place of sudden scale. In the darkest season, life does not disappear. In the ocean, it becomes concentrated. Northern Norway is not rich because it is easy. It is rich because the ocean gathers life where season and current align.
But this is only the beginning. Beyond the fjords, the sea falls into deeper and stranger worlds.
The same ocean that feeds fish and whales near the surface also opens into canyons of darkness below.
To understand this coast, we must follow the ocean from current to fish, from fish to whale, and from whale to village. This is Norway at the edge of wind, ice, and ocean nigh. And the story begins with
The story begins beneath the ocean, where a hidden current keeps this frozen coast alive.
Northern Norway should feel locked in ice, yet the ocean refuses to become still. Far to the south, Atlantic water begins a long journey north, carrying heat into a polar world.
This current does not make the Arctic warm, but it softens the edge enough for life to gather.
Above the sea, winter is severe. below the ocean surface, hidden warmth travels through the dark. The coast survives because the ocean is not one single body of water, but many forces meeting. Where Atlantic warmth meets Arctic cold, the ocean becomes dynamic, restless, and rich. Where Atlantic warmth meets Arctic cold, the ocean becomes dynamic, restless, and rich.
When light returns after the long darkness, microscopic life begins to bloom.
A bloom this small can change everything, because the entire visible drama begins with the invisible. Plankton feeds smaller animals, and those smaller animals become the first bridge toward fish.
Small fish follow the bloom, and the cold ocean begins to concentrate energy.
In this ocean, survival often begins with gathering.
The season is short, the light is limited, and every creature must arrive when the ocean allows it. The fjord becomes more than a landscape. It becomes a corridor where the ocean gathers life.
One fish is almost invisible in the sea. Thousands can change the shape of the water.
When the school turns, the ocean flashes. When it tightens, it becomes a living mass. The ocean does not keep its secrets for long. What gathers below is soon read from above.
Birds begin to circle because the sea beneath them has changed.
They watch the water, reading ripples, flashes, and the movement of fish beneath the ocean skin.
Below the birds, the fish are no longer scattered. The ocean has begun to build a winter feast.
This movement is not random. It is timing made visible inside the ocean. Across the cold sea, scattered life begins to come together. In winter, abundance in the Arctic does not spread gently. It gathers in dense, fragile places.
This is how the ocean turns invisible energy into visible life. Plankton becomes fish, fish becomes movement, and movement begins to call the giants of the sea. A fjord can shelter life, but it can also concentrate it until every predator notices.
From above, the signs are small. A circle of birds, a change in the sea, a pulse beneath the surface.
The land remains silent, but the ocean below it is full of decisions. Air and sea are linked by fish, and every wing above the water depends on what the ocean provides.
The power of this school is not aggression. It is concentration. A scattered fish is difficult to find. A dense school changes everything. The ocean compresses life into a shape that birds can follow and whales can find.
The first hunters are already reading the surface, but the greatest hunters are still beyond the frame.
Far across the ocean, another sign appears in loom. A breath, a ripple, a giant turning toward the feast.
The fish do not know the whole story, but the ocean around them is changing.
The current began this story. The fish made it visible. Now the sea is ready to summon larger life.
Sometimes the entire fjord feels organized around one movement beneath the waves.
The mountains look still, but the ocean below them is preparing the first great winter spectacle. Herring are not the largest animals in this story, but in the winter ocean they may be the most important. A transfer of energy, carrying the bloom of the ocean into bodies large enough to feed giants. Individually, each fish is small. Together, they become a living storm beneath the sea.
This is the moment when the Arctic coast begins to wake in the coldest part of the year. The ocean has gathered its silver bloodline, and the giants have begun to arrive.
Soon, intelligence will enter the dark water, and the fjord will become a hunting theater. The entire drama of northern Norway begins with invisible changes in water.
The land may be frozen, the sky may be dark, but the ocean continues to carry energy north.
Fish feed whales, seabirds, seals, and people. The ocean connects them all.
A current alone does not create a winter spectacle. For that, the sea needs a smaller creature.
It needs herring, the silver bloodline of the Arctic winter.
And when the herring are forced upward beneath the cold ocean surface, one of the most intelligent hunting scenes in the sea is about to begin. Now, beneath the cold ocean surface, one of the most intelligent hunting scenes in the sea begins.
In the winter fjords of Norway, the herring become the center of the season.
Orcas do not enter this ocean as random hunters. They arrive with memory, coordination, and purpose. They begin to work around the school, reading its shape and guiding its movement. The herring respond as one body, folding inward as pressure builds from every side.
The power of the orca is not speed alone. It is strategy. Above the water, birds follow the signs. Below the sea, the hunt is being arranged.
The fjord becomes a single connected world, with fish, whales, birds, and mountains in one frame.
Movement, bubbles, and pressure turn the open ocean into a carefully shaped trap.
To the viewer, it may look chaotic, but inside the sea, every movement belongs to a pattern.
A tail strike breaks the order for a moment, and the silver wall shivers through the ocean.
The school tightens again, because in this ocean, scattered life is fragile. At the surface, black fins cut through the cold ocean, like signals from another intelligence.
The birds know what the ocean is hiding, and the orcas know how to bring it within reach.
The scene becomes almost architectural, a structure built from pressure, movement, and fear.
The herring form a living sphere, and the orcas hold the boundaries of the sea around it. The herring form a living sphere, and the orcas hold the boundaries of the sea around it.
The land looks silent, but the sea below it is full of decisions.
But the orcas are not the only giants drawn into the fjord.
Humpback whales bring a different kind of force, slower, larger, and immense.
Where the orca shapes the school with precision, the humpback rises with scale.
At first, there is only a shadow moving upward through the ocean.
Then the surface changes, and the fjord seems to hold its breath.
For 1 second, the ocean opens, and a giant becomes visible.
Water drains away, the whale sinks again, and the surface closes over the feast.
The school breaks, then gathers again, because the ocean keeps forcing life back into motion.
Orcas and humpbacks do not hunt in the same way, but both reveal the same truth.
Northern Norway's winter sea is not dead. It is concentrated.
The cold does not stop life. It compresses life into moments of intensity.
Under this different light, every animal must use the season before the season closes.
Breath turns white in freezing air, fins cut the dark ocean, and birds scream over the waves.
Below it all, the herring flash like a hidden silver storm.
The fjord becomes a feeding theater, and the small village beyond it becomes part of the same ocean story.
The sea that gathers whales also sustains the people who live beside it.
After each surge of motion, the ocean settles, but the current keeps the story moving.
The hunt is never permanent. Abundance in the Arctic is brief, and every creature must follow it. When the moment is over, the giants move on, because the ocean never holds still.
The fjord has offered food, but beyond it, the sea continues into deeper water.
Not every giant hunts near the surface, and not every ocean story remains in the light.
Farther west, beyond the winter fjords, the ocean floor begins to fall away.
The same coast that holds herring and orcas also stands beside an abyss.
Here, the ocean is no longer only wide, it becomes deep.
Below the feeding fjords, another world waits, one built from darkness, pressure, and sound.
The winter spectacle has shown how life gathers near the surface, but the next giant follows a different path.
Beyond the fjords, the seafloor drops, and another whale enters the unseen ocean.
The next chapter belongs not to the Silver School, but to the deep diver that follows darkness itself.
From the hunting fjords of winter, we now descend toward the deep ocean canyons, where sperm whales search with sound. From the hunting fjords of winter, we now descend toward the deep ocean canyons, where another giant follows darkness itself.
Farther west, the coast reveals one of its greatest secrets. Deep ocean water comes close to land.
Here, the sea does not remain shallow for long. The ocean drops beside the shore.
Beneath the waves, slopes and submarine canyons open a doorway into a deeper world.
For humans above, the horizon may look simple. For a deep diver, it is an entrance. The sperm whale rises from this hidden depth to breathe at the surface.
This is not a hunter of the shallow herring fjord. It is a giant built for vertical journeys.
Before the dive, the whale waits and breathes, gathering oxygen for a world without light.
Its body seems almost still, but every breath prepares the descent.
Then the back arches, and the surface moment becomes a doorway. The raised tail is like a door closing between the world of air and the world of depth.
Below the surface, the whale leaves the human world almost completely.
The water turns from blue to deeper blue, then toward black.
Light fades quickly here, and pressure begins to shape every movement.
In this deep ocean, sight becomes less important than sound. The sperm whale sends clicks through the ocean and listens for echoes in the dark.
Those echoes become a way to read the unseen.
The coastline is dramatic above water, but below the sea, the drama continues downward. The seafloor falls, depth opens, and a mammal of air
enters a world of pressure.
Above is the coast of villages and storms. Below is the acoustic world of the sperm whale.
Somewhere in this darkness, squid and other deep-water prey move beyond human sight.
The hunt is rarely seen, but the idea of it gives this ocean its weight.
In this layer, the sea does not reveal everything.
The sperm whale carries one of the ocean's most powerful natural sonar systems.
Each click searches the darkness, returning fragments of shape, distance, and direction.
This is not the fast silver chaos of the herring fjord. It is slower.
In northern Norway, the village and the abyss can be neighbors.
On the surface are boats, weather, birds, and light. Beneath are canyons, pressure, and sound.
The human world floats above, while the whale moves through a depth human senses cannot survive. After the descent, the whale must return to air. The journey is vertical, from breath to darkness and back again.
Every dive reminds us that this coast is not only horizontal, but layered.
The whale rises toward a world of wind, cliffs, islands, and winter ocean.
Then the breath returns, and the hidden world briefly touches the surface. For a moment, the deep diver becomes visible again, and the ocean closes its secret behind it.
Vesterålen matters because it shows how close deep ocean systems can come to the human coast. A village may stand beneath snowy peaks while a whale searches the abyss nearby.
The shore and the deep are not separate worlds here. In places like this, they are neighbors. Life exists along the coast, but it also hangs above a layered ocean.
At the surface are breath storms and light. Below are slopes, squid, pressure, and sound.
The deep whale does not need the fjord theater. It belongs to a darker stage.
But life here does not only rise from the ocean depths. It also clings to stone, where the ocean sends food upward into wings. Along the northern coast, cold cliffs become vertical cities beside the sea. Along the northern coast, cold cliffs become vertical cities beside the sea. From the abyss of sperm whales, we turn to the crowded cliffs where the sea becomes flight. From the abyss of sperm whales, we turn to the crowded cliffs where the sea becomes flight.
Along the northern coast, stone cliffs become cities because the ocean below can feed them.
At first, the cliff looks like cold stone. Then the ocean reveals it as a vertical city.
Every ledge is a place of balance, where life clings between rock, wind, and ocean.
The sea feeds them below, but the cliff gives them a place to return.
A puffin carrying fish is carrying the energy of the ocean onto land.
Each small fish began in the sea, but now it becomes part of a life built high above the waves.
The birds dive into the ocean, take from the sea, and bring that life back to stone.
A seabird colony is not only a spectacle, it is evidence that the ocean nearby is productive.
Some birds dive, some glide, some wait on ledges, but all of them depend on the sea.
On these cliffs, survival is measured in inches of stone and miles of ocean.
The cliff is built from rock, but its life is built from fish. When they leave the cliff, they enter the ocean's weather. When they leave the cliff, they enter the ocean's weather. When fish shift, birds must search farther, and the ocean becomes harder to read.
A cliff can roar with life, but a quieter ledge can also tell a story from the sea.
When birds vanish from a place like this, it is not only a loss of sound, it is a signal from the ocean.
Seabirds make absence visible because they return from the sea to land.
If food becomes harder to find, the cliff feels it long before the viewer understands why. The bird reads the surface, the fish reads the current, the cliff records the result.
Yet the cliffs remain alive because the ocean still sends food into the air.
Every returning bird is a small proof that the sea can still provide.
The journey from water to wing is repeated thousands of times across the coast.
Below these cliffs, humans have also learned to read the ocean.
In northern Norway, the sea is not only scenery, it is food, danger, memory, and identity.
Small villages sit between mountains and ocean, shaped by the narrow chances the sea allows.
A calm harbor can feel safe, but beyond it, the ocean can change without warning.
The work of the village begins with weather, timing, and respect for the sea. Fish leave the ocean, but the cold air and wind become part of the process.
Here, the climate itself helps preserve what the sea has given. The village is not separate from nature. It is woven into the ocean's rhythm. People here have not lived by conquering the ocean. They have lived by negotiating with it.
A fisher reads wind, current, fish movement, and season before trusting the sea. The coastline may look beautiful from far away, but the ocean does not forgive carelessness.
Knowing when to turn back can be as important as knowing where the fish are. A harbor light in winter is not only beautiful, it is a signal of adaptation.
Behind each light is a life built around weather, fish, darkness, and return.
Generations learn this coast not only from maps, but from storms remembered.
The same sea that feeds a village can threaten it, depending on wind, distance, and timing.
The ocean gives and tests in the same breath. Birds, fishes, whales, and villages all read the same water in different ways.
Beneath the harbour, the food web continues, quiet and essential.
The village survives because the ocean remains alive, beyond what the eye can see.
To live here is to know when to leave, when to wait, and when to return.
The return to harbor is part of the rhythm, as important as the journey out. This human layer keeps the coast from becoming only a wilderness postcard. The birds return to ledges, the boats return to harbor, and both returns depend on the sea.
Northern Norway is a coastal system where ocean productivity climbs into wings and settles into villages.
Everything here depends on reading the ocean accurately. The whale reads fish. The bird reads the surface. The fisher reads the wind. But this relationship is changing because the Northern Ocean is changing its rhythm.
Fish may shift, seasons may move, and old knowledge must adapt to a sea that no longer behaves exactly as before.
For the birds, for the whales, and for the people, survival depends on the ocean's pattern.
And now, across the far north, ice is retreating, seasons are shifting, and the Arctic Sea...
Across the far north, ice is retreating, seasons are shifting, and the Arctic Sea is beginning to change its rhythm. Less ice does not simply mean more open ocean. It changes the boundary between Arctic cold and Atlantic warmth.
Warmer, saltier water can move farther north, reshaping where life can gather.
The change is not always dramatic in a single frame, but the ocean remembers every small shift.
This is not a simple disaster scene. It is a rhythm slipping out of its old timing. This is not a simple disaster scene. It is a rhythm slipping out of its old timing.
For fish, temperature can influence movement, growth, spawning, and where the next meal will be found. If the fish move, everything that follows them must also move.
For seabirds, the question becomes how far they must fly before the ocean offers food. A quieter cliff is not only a quieter cliff. It may be a message from the sea. A quieter cliff is not only a quieter cliff. It may be a message from the sea.
When the food web shifts beneath the surface, the change rises into the air.
For whales, the location of prey decides where the journey must go.
If herring gather differently, the giants must search differently.
For fishing communities, these changes are not abstract. They arrive as questions at the harbor.
Where will the fish be? When will they come? Will the old calendar still work?
Knowledge built over generations must now listen to an ocean that is changing its behavior.
Life here was always difficult, but it was difficult within patterns animals and people could learn.
When the timing changes, the challenge becomes deeper than storm or cold.
For herring, the question is where to gather. For whales, where to feed.
For seabirds, the question is how far to fly before the sea gives enough. For the coast itself, the question is how to remain a living edge as the Arctic becomes less predictable.
The retreat of ice does not erase life at once. It changes the stage on which life must act.
When the stage moves, every actor must adjust. Warm currents, cold seas, herring, whales, seabirds, fishing villages, and retreating ice all belong to one story. Northern Norway is not the edge of life. It is one of its most delicate centers. Northern Norway is not the edge of life. It is one of its most delicate centers.
Everything depends on reading the edge correctly, Stokely, the edge between land and sea. The edge between Atlantic warmth and Arctic cold still shapes the life above it.
The edge between winter darkness and returning light decides when the ocean can bloom.
The edge between abundance and hunger may begin with light no wider than a season. Whales do not come because people hope to see them. They come when the ocean gathers food. Orcas follow herring. Humpbacks arrive when the season offers enough prey.
Sperm whales use deep ocean waters where sound can find what sight cannot. Sperm whales use deep ocean waters where sound can find what sight cannot.
Humans are part of this system too, reading weather, current, fish movement, and season.
A family drying fish in cold air is using the climate as part of the process.
A harbor light in winter is not only beautiful, it is a sign that life has adapted. A harbor light in winter is not only beautiful, it is a sign that life has adapted.
Edges are where forces meet. Warm water and cold water, mountains and fjords, birds and cliffs, whales and herring.
Life here becomes precise because it must.
A whale must be where the fish are. A bird must find food before the season turns.
A fisher must choose the right day to leave harbor, because the ocean remembers every mistake.
This precision is not weakness, it is wisdom.
The animals do not fight the Arctic Ocean as if it were an enemy. They use what it gives.
Wind becomes flight. Cold water becomes a feeding ground. Darkness becomes a season of whale breath and herring movement.
Fjords become shelter. Canyons become hunting routes.
The people here do the same. They build low against the wind and place villages near protected water.
They follow fish, respect weather, and understand that the sea is never only a view.
It is a force with memory, and that is why this coast stays with people who see it. Northern Norway is not only beautiful, it is honest.
It does not pretend nature is gentle. It shows that life can continue in severe places.
To live at the edge is not to be far from life. It is to live where life must become most aware.
A school of herring can call whales back into dark fjords. A cliff can hold thousands of wings above a winter ocean.
A warm Atlantic current can keep the northern coast open when the land around it is frozen.
A small village can survive for generations, not by overpowering the sea, but by learning its rhythm.
Here, every form of life is reading something. The blue whale reads the fish. The albatross reads the surface. The fisher reads the wind. The village reads the season. The coast reads the meeting of warm Atlantic water and Arctic cold. Northern Norway is not the end of life. It is where life becomes precise. Between wind, ice, and ocean, every breath, every wing, every returning boat.
Not by conquering nature, but by listening carefully enough to remain.
This is Norway. Life at the edge of wind, ice, and ocean.
At the meeting point of desert, sunlight, and sea, the Red Sea Ocean begins as a world of beauty, danger, and mystery.
From above, this sea looks silent and gentle, but beneath the surface of the Red Sea Ocean lies a living world.
Every descent into this sea is a crossing from the world we know into the hidden heart of the Red Sea Ocean. The deeper we enter the Red Sea Ocean, the more the sea begins to reveal the first shadows of a world built beneath the waves. Here, the Red Sea Ocean begins to change from open blue water into a hidden sea kingdom filled with color, movement, and life. The beauty of this sea is not empty beauty. Every color in the Red Sea Ocean belongs to a living system struggling to survive. Even the sand beneath this sea carries the marks of the Red Sea Ocean, shaped by currents, tides, and the slow rhythm of time. At first, the Red Sea Ocean shows only wonder, but every opening in the reef is also a doorway into survival. Light is the first architect of this sea, shaping every color, every shadow, and every movement inside the Red Sea Ocean. In the Red Sea Ocean, beauty is built layer by layer, and this first coral garden is only the beginning of the seal's hidden story. Now the Red Sea Ocean begins to open before us, not as a silent blue space, but as a living sea city built by coral and time. Every narrow passage in this sea leads to another chamber of life, and every coral wall protects a fragile part of the Red Sea Ocean.
The Red Sea Ocean is never truly still. Even in silence, the sea is filled with movement.
Below the bright reef, the seafloor tells its own quiet story, written by currents, small creatures, and the endless patience of the ocean. From the sand to the coral, every layer of the Red Sea Ocean is connected, and each layer depends on the one beneath it. A single coral tower in this sea can become a home, a shelter, a hunting ground, and a landmark within the Red Sea Ocean. Around this living tower, the Red Sea Ocean shows its first great rule. Every creature must find its place. Above the reef, the sea becomes a moving sky, where schools of fish travel like clouds through the Red Sea Ocean. In the Red Sea Ocean, beauty and danger often move in the same water, separated only by distance, timing, and instinct. This first glimpse of the Red Sea Ocean has shown only the surface of its story, and ahead, the Coral Kingdom will reveal far more. As we move farther into the Red Sea Ocean, the reef begins to unfold like a living map beneath the sea. Every shelf, every crack, and every sandy path in this sea gives shelter to life within the Red Sea Ocean. The closer we move through this sea, the more the Red Sea Ocean reveals that beauty is also a system of hiding places. This wider reef shows the Red Sea Ocean at its most delicate, where thousands of lives depend on balance within the sea. The Red Sea Ocean teaches its lesson quietly. Beauty may fill the sea, but every creature must remain aware. As the fish return to their rhythm, the Red Sea Ocean invites us deeper into the reef, where the true complexity of the sea is waiting. The deeper we follow this movement, the more the Red Sea Ocean becomes a world of hidden roots beneath the sea. Inside this coral passage, the Red Sea Ocean begins to trade open brightness for shadow, depth, and quiet discovery. From above, this sea chamber shows how the Red Sea Ocean builds order from coral, sand, light, and instinct. Even the quiet center of this sea holds signs of movement, proof that the Red Sea Ocean is alive, even where it seems empty. The Red Sea Ocean always leads us from emptiness back to life, from silence back to the crowded pulse of the reef. As the light strengthens again, the Red Sea Ocean reveals its power to turn every reef corner into a new beginning. The Red Sea Ocean is beautiful because it is alive, but life in this sea also means caution, shelter, and constant awareness. This first chapter of the Red Sea Ocean is leading us toward the Coral Kingdom, where the sea's beauty, danger, and mystery begin to collide.
The first chapter of the Red Sea Ocean has shown us only the edge of a much greater world beneath the sea.
What seemed at first like simple beauty is now becoming a living structure, a sea kingdom built by countless fragile lives.
In the Red Sea Ocean, color is not decoration, it is life, warning, camouflage, attraction, and survival within the sea.
Every small movement inside this sea has meaning, and every creature in the Red Sea Ocean must understand the rhythm of the reef. The Red Sea Ocean never reveals itself all at once. The sea leads us from one hidden chamber of life into another. Here, beauty gathers in silence, but beyond the light, the Red Sea Ocean still holds danger and mystery. At this boundary, the Red Sea Ocean shows the truth of the sea. Safety and uncertainty often exist only a few meters apart. The opening journey has brought us to the threshold, where the reef begins to tell its deeper story. Before we enter the deeper dangers of the Red Sea Ocean, we must first understand the brilliant sea kingdom that makes this world possible. Next, we enter the coral kingdom of the Red Sea Ocean, where beauty becomes a living city, and every corner of the sea hides a story of survival. Now we enter the coral kingdom of the Red Sea Ocean, where the sea turns beauty into shelter, movement, and life. The Red Sea Ocean is built by lives so small they are almost invisible, yet together they create an entire sea kingdom. Every surface in this sea has a purpose, and every opening in the Red Sea Ocean may become a refuge for life. To follow these fish is to discover that the Red Sea Ocean is filled with secret roads beneath the sea. Inside the Red Sea Ocean, the Coral Kingdom is a maze where every turn can mean food, shelter, danger, or escape. Beyond the corridor, the Red Sea Ocean opens into a forest of coral, where the sea itself seems to breathe. The Red Sea Ocean is organized in layers, from the coral below to the open sea above, and each layer holds a different kind of life.
In this sea, survival is not always a battle. Sometimes the Red Sea Ocean depends on cooperation, but
the deeper we observe the Red Sea Ocean, the clearer it becomes that this coral kingdom survives through connection, balance, and constant motion. In this coral kingdom, the Red Sea Ocean survives through connection, and even the smallest fish helps keep the sea alive.
The Red Sea Ocean is not only filled with life, it is organized by movement, color, shelter, and instinct.
Above the reef, the sea becomes a moving sky, and the Red Sea Ocean fills that sky with thousands of small lives. Every shadow inside this sea has meaning, because in the Red Sea Ocean, darkness can become shelter. Beyond the shadows, the Red Sea Ocean returns to light, where the sea feeds the reef with every passing current. The current is the hidden river of the Red Sea Ocean, carrying food, signals, and change through the sea. As the current carries us forward, the Red Sea Ocean leads us toward a greater reef wall, where the sea's living architecture rises into view. Here, the Red Sea Ocean builds upward, turning coral into a living wall where the sea gathers life in layers. On this wall, the Red Sea Ocean shows how every ledge, crack, and shadow can become a home within the sea. The higher we move along this seawall, the more the Red Sea Ocean reveals how light controls where life gathers. The current feeds this wall, and the Red Sea Ocean turns moving water into energy for the entire reef. In the Red Sea Ocean, survival is often built on trust, where even tiny fish can protect the health of larger lives. Beneath the bright life of the reef, the Red Sea Ocean keeps quieter spaces, where the sea hides what it is not ready to reveal. The mystery of this sea is not always found in great depth. Sometimes the Red Sea Ocean hides it inside a single dark opening. Back in the light, the Red Sea Ocean becomes motion again, a sea of color rising and falling with every passing current. Seen from a distance, this reef wall becomes a complete world, showing how the Red Sea Ocean stacks life from sand to sunlight. As we leave the wall behind, the Red Sea Ocean guides us toward a new reef plateau, where the sea's coral kingdom continues to expand. Beyond the wall, the Red Sea Ocean opens again, and the sea reveals a plateau where life spreads outward in every direction. On this plateau, the Red Sea Ocean becomes a garden of coral, where the sea grows beauty through patience, light, and movement. The closer we look, the more the Red Sea Ocean becomes a world of tiny lives, building the sea one detail at a time. Even across this open sea plateau, the reef creates pathways, and the Red Sea Ocean uses them to connect one shelter to another. This sandy path is more than empty space. In the Red Sea Ocean, it is a route through the sea where movement becomes survival. The Red Sea Ocean leads us from open light back into complexity, where the sea hides countless lives inside coral walls. In this part of the Red Sea Ocean, every creature lives between two choices: remain protected within the reef or risk the open sea. Above the coral, the Red Sea Ocean turns movement into protection, as the sea gathers small lives into one shifting form. In the Red Sea Ocean, unity can become a shield, because the open sea is beautiful, but it is never empty. As the school fades into the sea, the Red Sea Ocean draws us onward, toward a coral forest where the reef's hidden life grows even more intense. Inside this sea forest, every branch of coral becomes a shelter, and every space between them becomes a path through the Red Sea Ocean. To move through the Red Sea Ocean is to follow instinct, because in this sea, every turn can lead to food, safety, or danger. Here, the Red Sea Ocean seems to breathe, as the reef and the fish move together in the same pulse of the sea. Below the color of the reef, the Red Sea Ocean keeps another layer of life, quieter, slower, and harder to see. The Red Sea Ocean never separates beauty from mystery. The sea hides both in the same reef, often only a few inches apart. In the Red Sea Ocean, even the brightest beauty carries awareness, because the sea rewards those who notice change. The Red Sea Ocean often gives its warning in silence, through a shift in movement, a pause in the reef, and a shadow in the sea. This is where the Coral Kingdom teaches us the truth of the Red Sea Ocean. Beauty can protect life, but it can never erase danger from the sea. Next, we leave the brightest heart of the Red Sea Ocean and begin to uncover the hidden danger beneath the beauty of the sea. Beyond the brightest heart of the reef, the Red Sea Ocean begins to reveal the danger hidden inside beauty. At this boundary, the Red Sea Ocean becomes a meeting place where reef life, open water, and hidden danger constantly overlap. As we descend along the reef slope, the Red Sea Ocean leads us into a darker zone where danger becomes harder to see.
In this sea, danger does not always arrive with motion. Sometimes it begins with stillness.
The reef reacts before the eye understands, because in the Red Sea Ocean, survival depends on sensing danger early. As the reef slope darkens, the Red Sea Ocean teaches us that danger is often hardest to see when the sea appears calm.
In the Red Sea Ocean, some danger does not chase through the sea. It waits silently, hidden in plain sight. The Red Sea Ocean often hides its hunters beyond the frame, allowing only their shadow to speak for them. Here, the Red Sea Ocean turns invisibility into protection, and the sea allows danger to become part of the landscape. Here, danger wears beauty openly, and the Red Sea Ocean gives even its most dangerous creatures a hypnotic grace. After seeing what can hide on the seafloor, every shadow in the Red Sea Ocean begins to feel more alive. In the Red Sea Ocean, beauty can be a warning, and stillness can be more powerful than speed. The reef is not only a shelter. In the Red Sea Ocean, it is also a place where danger can wait unseen. Not every hidden creature in this sea is a hunter. In the Red Sea Ocean, camouflage can also be the language of defense. Inside this shadowed space, the Red Sea Ocean reminds us that the reef has eyes, even where the light cannot reach. The Red Sea Ocean is filled with quiet transformations, where survival may depend on becoming part of the sea itself. Nothing here is wasted. Not a shadow, not a crack, not a pause. Everything in the Red Sea Ocean can become part of survival. Every creature in the Red Sea Ocean reads the sea around it, measuring distance, movement, and the intentions of others. In the Red Sea Ocean, danger is not always an event. Often, it is a pattern of respect written into the movement of the sea. We have seen danger inside the reef, but the Red Sea Ocean holds another kind of danger in the open sea beyond. When the fish gather tightly again, the Red Sea Ocean signals that something in the sea has changed. Beyond the reef, the Red Sea Ocean becomes a different world, where the safety of coral gives way to the uncertainty of open sea. In the open sea, there are fewer places to hide, and every movement in the Red Sea Ocean must be measured with care. Now the Red Sea Ocean draws us toward a greater danger, where the open sea holds shapes that move with power, distance, and silence. For small fish in the Red Sea Ocean, the open sea offers space, but space also means risk.
In the Red Sea Ocean, the open sea can turn silent in an instant, and that silence is often the first sign of power nearby. The Red Sea Ocean does not need violence to reveal danger. Sometimes distance alone is enough to change the behavior of the sea. The Red Sea Ocean gives warning through motion, and when a school tightens, the sea itself seems to hold its breath.
A great hunter in the Red Sea Ocean moves like part of the sea itself, quiet, patient, and almost impossible to ignore. In this sea, a hunter does not need to rush. The Red Sea Ocean often gives power to patience. The Red Sea Ocean is not always violent, but the possibility of danger shapes every choice made in the sea. In the Red Sea Ocean, survival is often not about escape at the last moment, but about knowing when to return to shelter.
After every journey into open water, the Red Sea Ocean draws small lives back toward the protection of the reef. The reef becomes a fortress in the Red Sea Ocean, a place where small lives survive by knowing every hidden passage of the sea. Inside these coral passages, the Red Sea Ocean changes from open danger into hidden strategy, where the sea rewards those who know the maze. The reef may offer shelter, but in the Red Sea Ocean, the edge of safety is never far from the unknown. Even after leaving the open sea, danger remains. In the Red Sea Ocean, the reef can hide what the eye almost misses. The Red Sea Ocean is full of hidden warnings, and sometimes the most dangerous shape in the sea is the one that looks like stone. As we rise again through the reef, the Red Sea Ocean reminds us that danger and beauty are never separate. They trade places with every turn of the sea. The Red Sea Ocean has shown us danger in the open sea and danger inside the reef, but its deepest warnings still lie ahead. The Red Sea Ocean has shown danger in the open sea and danger inside the reef, but the deepest warnings often arrive at the edge of the reef. The Red Sea Ocean becomes a border between color and shadow, between shelter and the deep sea beyond. Below the bright reef, the Red Sea Ocean descends into a world where shapes become shadows and danger becomes harder to read. The Red Sea Ocean changes with depth, and every meter downward takes the sea farther from brightness and closer to mystery. In the Red Sea Ocean, survival is written into small decisions: when to move, when to hide, and when to vanish into the sea. Here, danger is not a moment. In the Red Sea Ocean, danger is the endless presence of the unknown sea around every living thing. The farther we drift from the sunlit reef, the more the Red Sea Ocean begins to trade beauty for silence, depth, and uncertainty. This is where the Red Sea Ocean reveals its true nature: beauty behind us, danger around us, and mystery waiting below. Now the Red Sea Ocean begins to lead us away from the reef and into the deep blue mystery, where light slowly disappears. Next, we descend into the deep blue mystery of the Red Sea Ocean, where the sea grows darker, quiet. Now we enter the deep blue mystery of the Red Sea Ocean, where the sea grows darker, quieter, and less familiar with every descent.
Above us, light still belongs to the reef, but below us, the Red Sea Ocean begins to belong to shadow.
The Red Sea Ocean is not only reefs and color. Beneath the beauty, the sea drops into walls, canyons, and hidden depths. Along this wall, the Red Sea Ocean becomes a border between solid stone and endless water, between what can be seen and what remains unknown. In the deeper Red Sea Ocean, life becomes quieter, slower, and harder to find, but it never truly disappears from the sea.
The deeper we travel, the more the Red Sea Ocean offers doorways into places where light can barely follow.
Some places in the Red Sea Ocean do not reveal themselves at once. The sea asks for patience before it allows us closer. At this threshold, the Red Sea Ocean becomes a mystery within a mystery, a hidden room inside the deep sea.
Inside this hidden passage, the Red Sea Ocean changes again, from wide blue depth into a narrow world shaped by stone, silence, and darkness.
Here, where sunlight weakens, the Red Sea Ocean begins to whisper another story, one written in darkness.
Here, inside the deeper Red Sea Ocean, light no longer rules the sea. It survives only in fragments. In this sea, even the smallest light becomes a signal, a warning, or a fragile sign of life in the dark. The deeper this passage leads, the more the Red Sea Ocean becomes a place of silence, adaptation, and hidden endurance. Inside the Red Sea Ocean, even darkness has direction, guiding life through hidden corridors carved by time and water. In places like this, the Red Sea Ocean becomes a refuge, where life survives by slowing down and staying close to stone. Every layer of the Red Sea Ocean is connected, and survival in this sea depends on forces moving quietly between darkness and light. The deep sea gives to the reef in ways that are almost unseen, and the Red Sea Ocean depends on this hidden movement to keep life alive. As light returns, the Red Sea Ocean reveals that survival is not sudden. It is built slowly, one reef, one current. This coral may look still, but in the Red Sea Ocean, it is constantly feeding, breathing, building, and surviving against the sea. In this sea, survival is shared, because the Red Sea Ocean holds life together through feeding, cleaning, hiding, and moving. The Red Sea Ocean survives through balance, and even a fish grazing quietly on the reef helps protect the seal's fragile foundation. From the coral floor to the open sea above, the Red Sea Ocean builds survival in layers, and every layer must remain strong. Movement is survival in the Red Sea Ocean, because the sea demands that every creature know when to rise, when to feed, and when to return. In this sea, nothing survives alone. The Red Sea Ocean depends on timing, shelter. As the current carries us forward, the Red Sea Ocean begins to show the fragile strength of life, adapting to a changing sea. As the current reaches brighter water, the Red Sea Ocean reveals how survival depends on adapting to a sea that never stands still. The reef may appear strong, but in the Red Sea Ocean, even the brightest coral survives only when the sea remains in balance. In this sea, survival is not always dramatic. The Red Sea Ocean often tests life through space, shelter, and quiet competition. For a small fish in the Red Sea Ocean, survival can be measured in seconds, in distance, and in the safety of the next coral opening. The Red Sea Ocean is a world of constant choices, where every creature must read the sea before it moves. To feed, life must leave shelter, and in the Red Sea Ocean, every meal comes with a measure of risk. In this ocean, timing is everything, because the Red Sea gives life only brief moments to feed before the sea asks it to return. The reef protects life, but life must also protect the reef, and this is the fragile agreement at the heart of the Red Sea Ocean. In the Red Sea Ocean, survival is not carried by one creature alone. It is shared across the entire sea. This living reef is beautiful, but its strength is fragile, and the Red Sea Ocean survives only by holding many forces in balance. In the Red Sea Ocean, warmth gives life energy, but too much change can turn strength into fragility. The current is more than movement. In the Red Sea Ocean, it is the sea's way of delivering life to the reef. In this sea, survival often means choosing the right place to wait, where food arrives but danger stays at a distance. The Red Sea Ocean is never completely still, and every creature here must learn to use the sea's force without being carried away by it. Even in a sea of movement, life needs shelter, and the Red Sea Ocean offers calm pockets where fragile creatures can recover. In these protected corners, the Red Sea Ocean gives young life a chance, but even here, survival remains uncertain. From the beginning, life in the Red Sea Ocean must learn the language of shadow, shelter, and sudden silence. The danger passes, the current continues, and the Red Sea Ocean returns to the endless rhythm that holds the reef together. Abundance in the Red Sea Ocean is not guaranteed. It is created every moment by balance between current, coral, fish, and light. The Red Sea Ocean is strong because it is connected, yet fragile, because every connection must keep working for the sea to survive. The Red Sea Ocean survives because every part of the sea is linked, from the smallest shelter to the widest current. In this sea, the current is not background motion. It is the quiet force that carries food, oxygen, and survival through the Red Sea Ocean.
The Red Sea Ocean offers life, but it also tests life, because every safe space in the sea has value.
In the Red Sea Ocean, the reef protects countless lives, but the reef itself must also be protected by the behavior of the sea.
Young life in the Red Sea Ocean begins in small protected spaces, where the sea offers shelter before it demands strength. From the first days of life,
The Red Sea Ocean teaches every creature to read the sea through light, shadow, and movement.
The Red Sea Ocean is a chain of survival, and every link in the sea depends on another link staying strong. In the Red Sea Ocean, light gives energy, but life must also know when to seek shade, rest, and protection within the sea.
Rest is also survival in the Red Sea Ocean, because the sea rewards those that save energy for the moment they truly need it. The Red Sea Ocean is powerful because life adapts, but it remains fragile because every adaptation depends on balance within the sea. The Red Sea Ocean is powerful because life adapts, but every adaptation depends on balance within the sea. In this fragile sea, survival is not one great act, but thousands of small actions repeated every day inside the Red Sea Ocean. Every meal in the Red Sea Ocean requires a choice, because the sea gives life and tests life at the same time. In the Red Sea Ocean, survival belongs to those that understand when to move, when to hide, and when to wait.
The Red Sea Ocean looks abundant here, but abundance survives only when the sea's hidden balance remains unbroken.
This sea survives because its parts are connected, and the Red Sea Ocean becomes fragile whenever one connection begins to fail.
Here, the Red Sea Ocean gathers every lesson of the sea. Beauty to attract life, danger to shape it.
The Red Sea Ocean is not one story, but many stories moving together through the same water. From the smallest coral polyp to the widest current, the Red Sea Ocean survives through balance, and that balance is the true strength of the sea. Next, we return to the full Red Sea Ocean, where beauty, danger, and mystery finally collide in one unforgettable sea. Now the Red Sea Ocean gathers every force we have seen, beauty, danger, mystery, and survival, into one living sea. The Red Sea Ocean is not divided into separate worlds. The reef, the open sea, and the deep all breathe through the same water. The beauty of the Red Sea Ocean is still the first thing we see, but now we understand how much life is hidden inside that beauty. Here, the Red Sea Ocean reminds us that danger does not always destroy beauty. Sometimes it wears beauty as its warning.
When life leaves the reef, the Red Sea Ocean changes its rules, and every movement across the open sea becomes a risk. The Red Sea Ocean does not need chaos to show power. Sometimes the quiet presence of a hunter is enough to reshape the sea. Below the danger of the open sea, the Red Sea Ocean holds another force entirely: the mystery of depth.
The Red Sea Ocean is beautiful at the surface, dangerous at the edge, and mysterious in the darkness below. Everything we have seen belongs to one sea, and every layer of the Red Sea Ocean shapes the layer above and below it. This is the Red Sea Ocean in its true form, a living sea where beauty, danger, and mystery collide without ever becoming separate. In this single frame, the Red Sea Ocean becomes the whole story, a sea where every force touches every other force.
The Red Sea Ocean never separates wonder from risk, because the same sea that feeds life also tests it. Every crossing in the Red Sea Ocean is a choice between the safety of the reef and the opportunity of the open sea. In the Red Sea Ocean, danger may pass without violence, but its presence changes the rhythm of the sea. The reef may seem like a safe kingdom, but the Red Sea Ocean keeps the deep mystery close, even inside its brightest coral. Beneath every bright surface, the Red Sea Ocean holds a quieter world, where the sea keeps its oldest secrets. This is the Red Sea Ocean at its most mysterious, where the sea invites us closer but never gives away everything it holds. The Red Sea Ocean moves between darkness and light, as if both are part of the same breath. Seen from above, the Red Sea Ocean is a living map of connection, where every path leads from beauty toward risk and from risk toward mystery. The Red Sea Ocean is unforgettable because it is never only one thing. The sea is beauty, danger.
The Red Sea Ocean is unforgettable because it is never only one thing. The sea is beauty, danger.
Every path through the Red Sea Ocean carries more than motion. It carries the memory of shelter, hunger, caution, and instinct. The great story of the Red Sea Ocean is written in small details, in sand tracks, coral shadows, and the quiet movement of life. In this sea, every doorway is both promise and warning, because the Red Sea Ocean hides mystery inside beauty. The Red Sea Ocean leads us through gateways of coral, each one opening from what we know into what the sea still keeps hidden. Here, the Red Sea Ocean shows balance at the edge, where beauty holds its ground while danger moves quietly in the distance. Below the reef, the Red Sea Ocean keeps its deeper silence, where the sea becomes shadow, pressure, and hidden light. Nothing in the Red Sea Ocean is truly separate. The deep feeds the reef shelters life, and life moves the story of the sea forward. The Red Sea Ocean is a circle of survival, where each return to the reef carries the influence of the deep sea below. As the Red Sea Ocean opens beneath us, the full truth becomes clear. This sea is not only a place to witness, but a world to understand. As the Red Sea Ocean opens beneath us, the full truth becomes clear. This sea is not only a place to witness, but a world to understand.
Every path in the Red Sea Ocean connects to another, and every movement in the sea becomes part of a larger design.
The Red Sea Ocean holds many worlds close together, and the distance between color and darkness is often only a few meters of sea.
In this sea, survival is the art of balance, and the Red Sea Ocean asks every creature to understand the line between safety and risk. The Red Sea Ocean gives life the courage to move, but the sea also reminds life to return before the distance becomes too great. Danger in the Red Sea Ocean does not always strike. Sometimes it simply passes through the sea and changes everything around it. The Red Sea Ocean is filled with doorways, and each doorway leads from light into shadow, from safety into the unknown. The Red Sea Ocean is filled with doorways, and each doorway leads from light into shadow. The Red Sea Ocean does not choose between darkness and light. It carries both, and life must learn to move between them. Now the Red Sea Ocean prepares to leave us with its final lesson. This sea is most powerful when all of its hidden forces collide. The final lesson of the Red Sea Ocean begins here, where every hidden force of the sea comes together in one living world. Beauty is the face of the Red Sea Ocean, but beneath that beauty, the sea is always moving, testing, hiding, and surviving. Every creature in the Red Sea Ocean belongs to the same fragile rhythm, and every rhythm helps the sea continue. Danger is not separate from the Red Sea Ocean. It is one of the forces that shapes the movement, caution, and intelligence of the sea. Mystery is the depth of the Red Sea Ocean, the part of the sea that remains unseen even after the journey has changed us. From darkness to color, from depth to reef, the Red Sea Ocean shows that every layer of the sea belongs to the same story. This is why the Red Sea Ocean is unforgettable, because it does not offer one truth, but many truths moving together beneath the sea. The Red Sea Ocean is a living collision of forces, and its power comes from the way those forces remain connected. As we rise from the reef, the Red Sea Ocean remains below us, still alive, still dangerous, still beautiful, and still filled with mystery. The journey ends here, but the Red Sea Ocean continues, where beauty, danger, and mystery collide beneath the endless sea.
This hidden chamber shows another face of the Red Sea Ocean. Not bright, not crowded, but ancient. In the deep Red Sea Ocean, mystery is not only what hides in darkness, but how life continues where almost nothing seems possible. Every hidden room in the Red Sea Ocean seems to lead to another, as if the sea itself is built from secrets.
The path ahead sinks lower, and the Red Sea Ocean draws us farther from light, farther from color, and deeper into the unknown sea. At the end of this hidden passage, the Red Sea Ocean opens again, but now the sea ahead is darker, wider, and far more mysterious. Beyond the hidden cave, the Red Sea Ocean opens into a deeper world, where the sea becomes wider, darker, and far less familiar.
Here, the Red Sea Ocean no longer feels like a reef. It feels like a silent sky beneath the sea.
The Red Sea Ocean may appear empty in the deep, but the sea is never truly empty. Life simply becomes harder to find.
Down here, the Red Sea Ocean is shaped by pressure, darkness, and the slow endurance of life against stone. In this deep part of the Red Sea Ocean, survival belongs to creatures that can vanish into the sea itself.
The deep Red Sea Ocean is full of hidden valleys, places where the sea gathers silence, shadow, and fragile life. This valley is another corridor of the Red Sea Ocean, not carved for us, but shaped by the sea over time beyond human memory. The farther we move through this sea valley, the more the Red Sea Ocean seems to leave the surface world behind. Where sunlight cannot reach, the Red Sea Ocean creates its own language of light, faint, brief, and mysterious. The valley ends, but the mystery does not. Ahead, the Red Sea Ocean opens into a deeper basin where the sea holds its secrets in darkness.
The valley opens into a basin, and the Red Sea Ocean becomes a hidden plain where silence stretches farther than light.
Down here, the sea does not need color to feel alive, and the Red Sea Ocean speaks through stillness, shadow, and faint hidden light. In this part of the Red Sea Ocean, survival belongs to those that move slowly, hide well, and waste nothing. Even where the sea appears empty, the Red Sea Ocean leaves clues in the sand, traces of movement written softly across the deep. The Red Sea Ocean guides us onward through the faintest signs, because in the deep sea, even a track in the sand can become a story. This ridge may look small, but in the Red Sea Ocean, even a low rise can divide shelter from exposure in the deep sea. The basin is not the end of the descent. The Red Sea Ocean keeps lowering the seafloor into deeper layers of mystery. With every downward turn, the Red Sea Ocean grows less familiar, as if the sea is hiding older worlds beneath newer ones.
Here, the Red Sea Ocean reveals a world that does not need brightness to be beautiful, only the will to survive in darkness.
Ahead, another opening waits in the deep Red Sea Ocean, and the sea seems to pull everything slowly toward the darkness beyond. At the edge of this canyon, the Red Sea Ocean feels less like a place and more like a question waiting in the dark. The Red Sea Ocean does not reveal its deepest rooms easily. It hides them behind stone, darkness, and pressure. Inside this canyon, the sea becomes a passage through shadow, where the Red Sea Ocean carries life into places almost untouched by light. Even here, far below the Coral Kingdom, the Red Sea Ocean refuses to become empty, and the sea still finds a way to hold life. In the deep Red Sea Ocean, movement becomes careful, energy becomes precious, and survival depends on doing almost everything slowly. The Red Sea Ocean keeps building mysteries within mysteries, each hidden space leading the sea into another layer of darkness. Here, mystery is not empty darkness. In the Red Sea Ocean, mystery is life adapting to a world without comfort. Looking back, the Red Sea Ocean reminds us how far we have traveled from color, from warmth, and from the easy beauty of the shallow sea. The deep Red Sea Ocean may seem separate from the reef, but every layer of the sea is connected by currents, nutrients, and life. Next, we return toward the living layers of the Red Sea Ocean, where survival depends on balance, adaptation, and the fragile strength of the sea. The Pacific Ocean looks peaceful, but beneath this enormous sea, Earth is hiding forces powerful enough to— The Pacific Ocean is not silent at all, because every movement of the sea is connected to deeper, invisible energy.
This peaceful sea is only the outer skin of a much larger and more restless ocean system.
Below the calm sea surface, the Pacific Ocean carries heat, pressure, and geological stress across unimaginable distances.
That the Pacific Ocean is both a cradle of life and one of the greatest engines of natural disaster on Earth.
To understand where earthquakes, tsunamis, and superstorms begin, we must look beyond the surface of the sea. Beneath the sea surface, the Pacific Ocean becomes a hidden world shaped by pressure, darkness, and time. Most of the Pacific Ocean is hidden beneath light, where the sea begins to reveal its true scale and power. That the deeper the Pacific Ocean becomes, the closer we move toward the forces that shape the planet from below. Beneath the Pacific Ocean Sea lies the restless foundation where the story of earthquakes, tsunamis, and superstorms truly begins. The Pacific Ocean seafloor is not a quiet, empty plain, but a vast, hidden landscape shaped by pressure, movement, and ancient force.
Beneath this enormous ocean, the foundation of the Earth is cracked, folded, and constantly changing.
These silent scars on the Pacific Ocean floor mark the places where immense geological stress can slowly build.
The Pacific Ocean hides boundaries, where sections of Earth's crust press against one another in silence. Deep under the Pacific Ocean Sea, pressure does not disappear. It waits, gathers, and strengthens. Even the smallest movement in this deep ocean world can be the first sign of a much larger force awakening. That the Pacific Ocean contains some of the deepest and most active geological regions on the planet. That the deeper the Pacific Ocean becomes, the more it reveals a world where stillness can hide enormous danger. Earthquakes in the Pacific Ocean begin when stored pressure finally overcomes the strength of rock. Beneath the Pacific Ocean Sea, the first quiet signs of a future earthquake may already be beginning. The Pacific Ocean often gives its first warning deep below the sea, long before anything changes at the surface. Beneath the Pacific Ocean Sea, pressure can remain trapped for centuries before releasing in a single violent moment. The Pacific Ocean rests on moving plates, and where those plates lock together, invisible energy begins to accumulate. This deep-sea silence is deceptive, because the Pacific Ocean floor is slowly storing the force that can shake entire coastlines. When rock beneath the Pacific Ocean can no longer hold against pressure, the stored energy begins to search for release. Trenches beneath the Pacific Ocean mark places where one plate may be forced beneath another, creating some of Earth's most powerful seismic zones. In the Pacific Ocean, the greatest disasters often begin with movements so deep that the surface sea remains unaware. Every layer of rock beneath the Pacific Ocean carries a record of collisions, ruptures, and pressure built over geological time. An earthquake beneath the Pacific Ocean does not begin as a single image, but as a chain of stress, resistance, and sudden release. Beneath the Pacific Ocean Sea, calm is never proof of safety, because the next movement may begin without warning. The Pacific Ocean can return to silence, even when the forces beneath the sea have not disappeared. Under this sea, stillness is only a pause between movements of the Earth. Every fracture beneath the Pacific Ocean is part of a larger system that links deep geology to the sea above. The Pacific Ocean hides an enormous architecture of stress, where pressure can travel across the ocean floor without being seen at the surface. When the seafloor moves, the entire Pacific Ocean above it becomes part of the transfer of energy. The ocean does not need to break open violently to carry danger. Sometimes the first signal is a silent movement through water. Energy born under the Pacific Ocean can move upward and outward through the sea long before the world recognizes its power. The Pacific Ocean is a bridge between the planet's inner force and the atmosphere that shapes storms above. This single ocean can carry energy from the seafloor into waves, from warm water into clouds, and from silence into catastrophe. The Pacific Ocean is never only what we see on the surface, because beneath this sea, earthquakes may begin. The Pacific Ocean always returns to beauty on the surface, even when the deep sea below continues to hold the memory of pressure and movement. What happens beneath the Pacific Ocean may remain invisible, but its consequences can travel across the sea with unstoppable force. The Pacific Ocean is connected from its deepest trenches to its highest storm clouds. Beneath this sea, the earth can shake. Above this sea, storms can grow. And across this sea, the Pacific Ocean is not one story, but many forces moving together beneath one endless surface. Every calm ocean scene in the Pacific carries the possibility of sudden transformation. This opening journey has only revealed the first layer of the Pacific Ocean, because the deeper story begins where the seafloor meets the movement. To understand earthquakes beneath the Pacific Ocean, we must descend again into the places where tectonic plates collide, lock, and for the next part of this Pacific Ocean story, we'll enter the Ring of Fire, where the sea hides volcanoes, trenches, and earthquake zones powerful leaks fold. The Pacific Ocean is the silent giant of Earth, and beneath this vast sea,
begins the path toward earthquake. Beneath the Pacific Ocean Sea lies the Ring of Fire, a vast hidden boundary where the planet's crust is restless. Along the Pacific Ocean trenches, one tectonic plate can be forced beneath another, creating some of the strongest earthquakes the planet can produce. The Ring of Fire beneath the Pacific Ocean Sea is where pressure gathers, rocks resist, and the first hidden steps toward earthquake begin. Inside the Pacific Ocean Sea, the Ring of Fire is not a single place, but a vast chain of hidden collision zones wrapped around the ocean basin. These layers beneath the Pacific Ocean were shaped by millions of years of pressure, collision, eruption, and slow tectonic movement. Where tectonic plates meet beneath the Pacific Ocean Sea, the rock does not slide smoothly. It locks, bends, and stores force. This hidden resistance beneath the Pacific Ocean is what allows earthquake energy to build quietly over time. The Ring of Fire beneath the Pacific Ocean is a place where the surface of the planet is constantly being recycled, crushed, and reborn.
Volcanoes beneath the Pacific Ocean reveal how closely fire and water exist together in this hidden world.
Heat escaping from beneath the Pacific Ocean is another sign that the Earth below this sea is still intensely active.
Beneath the Pacific Ocean Sea, tectonic plates do not move freely. They grind, resist, and lock against each other.
When one plate is forced beneath another under the Pacific Ocean, the rock can bend under impossible pressure without breaking immediately.
This bending beneath the Pacific Ocean stores energy slowly, silently, and relentlessly.
That each tiny fracture beneath the Pacific Ocean Sea is a warning that the locked boundary is approaching its limit. The Ring of Fire beneath the Pacific Ocean is a chain reaction of pressure moving through rock, water, and time. Before a major earthquake beneath the Pacific Ocean, the seafloor may show only quiet signs of pressure seeking escape.
When the locked plates beneath the Pacific Ocean finally slip, the release can shake the seabed with extraordinary force. This is the hidden moment when the Pacific Ocean begins to transform stored pressure into seismic motion.
Even before the largest movement arrives, the Pacific Ocean floor can begin to ripple with warnings written in sand, stone, and pressure.
Beneath the Pacific Ocean Sea, the Ring of Fire is now fully awake, and the next movement may be the first true step toward an earthquake.
Beneath the Pacific Ocean Sea, pressure does not always release at once. It first announces itself through subtle motion in rock, sand, and water. That this locked boundary under the Pacific Ocean has held back immense force. But every tremor means the balance is weakening.
When seismic pressure starts to move beneath the Pacific Ocean Sea, the first disturbance may travel through stone before it travels through water.
Along the Pacific Ocean Ring of Fire, trenches mark the places where the planet folds its crust downward and stores dangerous energy. That beneath the Pacific Ocean Sea, even a small upward movement of the ocean floor can become the beginning of a much larger event. The Pacific Ocean hides the moment when pressure becomes motion, and motion becomes the first language of an earthquake. That under this vast sea, the Earth can hold still for centuries, then move in seconds with enough force to disturb the entire ocean above. An earthquake beneath the Pacific Ocean is not only a movement of rock, it is the beginning of an energy transfer into the sea itself. Beneath the Pacific Ocean Sea, the Ring of Fire has moved from silent pressure into active strain, and the final rupture is now close. Beneath the Pacific Ocean Sea, the Ring of Fire has reached the moment when stored pressure can no longer remain hidden. An earthquake beneath the Pacific Ocean begins when locked rock finally gives way. When the Pacific Ocean floor shifts suddenly, the movement is not only local, it becomes energy transferred into the sea above.
That this vertical movement beneath the Pacific Ocean is one of the critical forces that can disturb an enormous mass of water.
The sea itself does not create the first force. The Pacific Ocean receives that force from the sudden motion of the Earth below.
Deep under the Pacific Ocean, an earthquake is not the end of the story, but the beginning of a new motion through the sea.
The terrifying truth of the Pacific Ocean is that disaster can begin deep below, while the surface remains almost unchanged. This contrast is what makes the Pacific Ocean so dangerous. A peaceful surface can conceal a violent transformation underneath. Once the Pacific Ocean floor has moved, the next question is whether that movement has pushed enough water to form a tsunami. Beneath the Pacific Ocean, the Ring of Fire has released its first great force, and in the next chapter, the sea itself will show how an earthquake can become a tsunami.
When the Pacific Ocean floor shifts, the sea above it may become the next carrier of Earth's power.
A tsunami does not begin as a towering wave, but as energy moving quietly through the ocean. In the open Pacific Ocean, tsunami energy can travel across enormous distances while barely changing the surface. The Pacific Ocean can carry this energy like a message written through water.
When part of the Pacific Ocean floor rises or drops suddenly, it pushes the water above into motion.
The sea does not move because of wind here. It moves because the ground beneath the Pacific Ocean has changed shape.
The size of the displaced seafloor helps determine how much water the Pacific Ocean will set in motion.
In deep water, tsunami waves are often long, fast, and low, hiding their strength across the vast Pacific Ocean. This is what makes the Pacific Ocean so deceptive. The first stage of a tsunami may pass beneath a calm-looking sea.
The tsunami has begun, not as destruction, but as silent energy racing across the Pacific Ocean. Across the deep Pacific Ocean, the first stage of a tsunami may be almost invisible to the eye.
In deep water, tsunami energy can travel fast, while the ocean's surface remains deceptively low and smooth. The Pacific Ocean can carry a tsunami across thousands of kilometers before the wave begins to rise. The deeper the ocean, the more efficiently the Pacific Ocean allows this energy to move.
A tsunami is not simply a surface wave, but a movement involving a vast depth of water.
Unlike ordinary wind waves, tsunami energy reaches deep into the Pacific Ocean. The Pacific Ocean transforms the earthquake's sudden force into a traveling pulse of water. The Pacific Ocean can hide great danger inside motion, too broad and low to appear threatening. Only when this energy approaches shallower water will the Pacific Ocean begin to reveal its true power. The Pacific Ocean is carrying the wave toward shallower ground, where silence will begin to turn into height. The Pacific Ocean is now carrying the hidden force away from deep water and toward the place where the wave will begin to change. As the Pacific Ocean becomes shallower, the energy has less space to remain hidden. When tsunami energy reaches shallower parts of the Pacific Ocean, the wave begins to slow down.
The wave loses speed, but it does not lose energy. The Pacific Ocean begins converting hidden horizontal motion into visible height. This is the transformation stage, when the Pacific Ocean begins to reveal the force that had been hidden across deep water. The shallower the Pacific Ocean becomes, the more the wave is forced upward. Below the surface, the Pacific Ocean is already moving with dangerous strength. A tsunami becomes most dangerous when the Pacific Ocean forces deep energy into shallow form. The Pacific Ocean has begun turning silent energy into a visible wall of water. The Pacific Ocean has now forced hidden deep water energy into a visible wave approaching shallow ground. Before the great surge arrives, the Pacific Ocean may first reveal its warning by withdrawing from the coast. This sudden retreat is not calm, but water being pulled into the growing force of the tsunami. The Pacific Ocean is now compressing motion, depth, and distance into a single advancing surge. A tsunami is powerful not only because of its height, but because an enormous volume of Pacific Ocean water is moving behind it. What began as a movement of the seafloor
has become a moving mass of ocean. Below the surface, the Pacific Ocean tsunami is not a simple wave, but a deep, moving body of water.
As the Pacific Ocean enters the final shallow zone, the wave becomes slower, taller, and far more destructive.
The Pacific Ocean is now releasing the energy that began far below on the seafloor.
The Pacific Ocean has transformed an unseen earthquake into a visible force capable of reshaping the edge of land. The Pacific Ocean does not strike as a single wave, but as a moving body of water carrying the weight of the entire sea behind it.
That once tsunami water reaches land, the Pacific Ocean becomes a horizontal force, more dangerous than height alone.
The same energy born from the seafloor now reshapes the boundary between ocean and land.
Tsunami danger continues even when the first impact appears to pass, because the Pacific Ocean can pull back with nearly the same force it arrived with.
A tsunami is often not one wave, but a sequence of surges moving through the Pacific Ocean.
The Pacific Ocean can send repeated waves because the original earthquake energy continues moving through the sea. The Pacific Ocean reveals how a movement deep under the seafloor can travel outward until it changes the shape and rhythm of distant shores.
Earthquakes and tsunamis are only one face of the Pacific Ocean's power. Above the same ocean, another force begins when heat, moisture, wind, and pressure gather over the sea.
The Pacific Ocean can turn seafloor motion into tsunamis, and in the next chapter, this same sea will reveal how
the Pacific Ocean does not only create danger from below, it also feeds storms from above.
Warm ocean water is the first fuel source for the storms that grow over the Pacific Ocean. Every breath of moisture rising from the Pacific Ocean Sea can help build the atmosphere of a future superstorm. When warm air lifts from the Pacific Ocean, it carries water vapor upward and begins the first step of storm formation.
Above the Pacific Ocean, small clouds can become organized when heat, humidity, and wind begin to work together. A superstorm does not appear suddenly. It begins as many small disturbances gathering strength over the sea. Rotation begins when winds over the Pacific Ocean organize around a center of falling pressure.
As pressure drops, the Pacific Ocean sends more moisture upward, feeding the storm like an engine.
The ocean and atmosphere are now locked together, each strengthening the other over the Pacific Ocean.
The Pacific Ocean has begun turning heat into motion, and motion into the first structure of a superstorm.
Every wave, every gust, and every rising plume of moisture helps the Pacific Ocean strengthen the storm above it. The storm begins to tighten as warm air rises and surrounding winds spiral inward over the Pacific Ocean.
The Pacific Ocean is now supplying the storm with the moisture it needs to grow taller, wider, and more organized.
Falling pressure allows winds to accelerate, and accelerating winds draw even more energy from the Pacific Ocean surface.
That the storm is no longer a loose disturbance, because the Pacific Ocean has helped it form a rotating core. As the core strengthens, the Pacific Ocean and atmosphere begin exchanging energy faster than before. Within these rain bands, the storm pulls heat from the Pacific Ocean and releases it upward into the growing atmosphere. This is the stage when the Pacific Ocean begins transforming a tropical disturbance into a dangerous, organized cyclone.
Over the Pacific Ocean, the storm has entered a dangerous phase, where heat, moisture, wind, and rotation begin building the foundation of a superstorm.
Over the Pacific Ocean, the storm has begun to draw energy from a wider region of warm sea.
The warmer the Pacific Ocean surface remains, the longer the storm can continue feeding and intensifying.
The storm's rotation forces the sea surface to respond in circles, not straight lines.
Inside the storm, warm Pacific Ocean moisture rises, cools, condenses, and releases heat that strengthens the cyclone from within.
This release of heat is what allows the Pacific Ocean storm to grow taller and more powerful.
When pressure continues to fall over the Pacific Ocean, winds accelerate inward and the storm begins to tighten around its core.
The Pacific Ocean is now giving the storm both moisture from below and friction from the sea surface, shaping its destructive structure. That every spiral band is a pathway carrying heat and moisture from the Pacific Ocean into the storm. The Pacific Ocean has now helped transform scattered storms into a single organized atmospheric machine.
Over the Pacific Ocean, the storm is nearing the threshold where a powerful cyclone can become a true superstorm. Over the Pacific Ocean, the cyclone is now approaching the threshold where ordinary storm structure becomes extreme atmospheric power.
The Pacific Ocean continues feeding the storm from below, sending heat and moisture upward faster than the atmosphere can release it.
The stronger the winds become, the more violently the Pacific Ocean transfers energy back into the storm.
The more violently the Pacific Ocean transfers energy back into the storm. Inside these cloud towers, the Pacific Ocean releases
symmetry is a sign that the Pacific Ocean storm is concentrating its energy around a powerful core.
The eye wall is where some of the most violent winds over the Pacific Ocean begin to concentrate.
At this stage, the Pacific Ocean is no longer just beneath the storm. It has become part of the storm's engine.
When wind, pressure, and warm sea surface align over the Pacific Ocean, the storm can intensify with terrifying speed.
The Pacific Ocean has now helped build a storm powerful enough to organize around a central eye.
That over the Pacific Ocean, the superstorm has found its center, and once the eye becomes stable, the storm can reach its most dangerous form.
Over the Pacific Ocean, the storm has now entered its most organized and dangerous stage. The eye may look peaceful, but around it, the Pacific Ocean is feeding the storm's strongest winds. The eye wall is the place where heat from the Pacific Ocean becomes violent atmospheric motion.
Beneath the storm, the Pacific Ocean is no longer calm water. It is a moving engine of heat, friction, and force.
The stronger the winds become, the more the storm extracts energy from the warm Pacific Ocean beneath it.
From above, the superstorm appears almost beautiful, but its beauty is built from ocean heat, falling pressure, and destructive wind. The Pacific Ocean gives storms the space and fuel to grow into some of the largest weather systems on Earth. That once a superstorm begins moving across the Pacific Ocean, its power is no longer limited to the open sea. The Pacific Ocean can carry a storm's force outward through waves, surge, rain, and wind, long before the eye reaches land.
That the Pacific Ocean has turned heat into a superstorm, and in the next chapter, the sea will reveal what happens when this power reaches.
When the Pacific Ocean sends its power toward land, the coast becomes the first place where ocean, wind, rain, and waves collide. The Pacific Ocean does not need cities or people to reveal its force. Even an untouched coast can show the full violence of the sea.
Every wave arriving from the Pacific Ocean carries the combined work of wind, pressure, and distance.
Storm surge begins when the Pacific Ocean is pushed toward land by powerful winds and falling pressure.
The coast is not facing a single wave, but an entire ocean surface being driven forward by the storm. Coastlines are shaped by countless moments like this, when the Pacific Ocean cuts, moves, and rebuilds the edge of land. Beneath the breaking waves, the Pacific Ocean is grinding the shoreline with force that cannot be seen from above.
The Pacific Ocean does not strike once and stop. It sends wave after wave, until the coastline is transformed.
That this is where the superstorm reveals its reach, turning ocean heat into coastal impact. The Pacific Ocean has carried the storm's power to the shore, and now the coastline must absorb the force of a restless sea.
The coastline is now receiving the full combined force of Pacific Ocean waves,
wind, rain, and storm surge. Every impact from the Pacific Ocean removes sand, loosens stone, and changes the shape of the shore. Cliffs may look permanent, but the Pacific Ocean carves them through countless storms, impacts, and returning tides. During a powerful storm, the sea does not simply touch the coast. The Pacific Ocean enters every weak point it can find. The force of the Pacific Ocean becomes even stronger when it is compressed into confined coastal spaces.
The storm continues to send new waves across the Pacific Ocean faster than the coastline can recover.
Storm surge is not a single dramatic moment, but a repeated rise of the Pacific Ocean over the land's edge.
That the Pacific Ocean changes coastlines by repetition, not only by one catastrophic strike.
After each wave, the shore is slightly different, because the Pacific Ocean removes, deposits, and rearranges everything it touches.
The Pacific Ocean is not only attacking the coastline in this moment, it is rewriting the boundary between land and sea.
The Pacific Ocean does not only arrive with force, it remains long enough to reshape everything fragile along the coast.
Every channel carved by the Pacific Ocean becomes a temporary river of stormwater flowing across the coast.
Storm surge allows the Pacific Ocean to move beyond its normal edge and temporarily occupy the land.
During a major storm, the Pacific Ocean can divide the coastline into shifting zones of impact, retreat, erosion, and return.
Natural coastal wetlands can absorb part of the Pacific Ocean's force, but even they bend under repeated storm surge.
These living edges can slow the sea, but they cannot stop the Pacific Ocean when a superstorm pushes water relentlessly inland. The coastline is not a fixed line during a storm. It becomes a changing zone where the Pacific Ocean and land overlap.
Each new wave from the Pacific Ocean arrives over a coastline already altered by the waves before it. The Pacific Ocean becomes most effective at reshaping land when surge, waves, runoff, and retreating currents work together. The Pacific Ocean has turned the coast into a living record of impact, where every wave leaves evidence of the storm's power. Every mark left by the Pacific Ocean is evidence of energy traveling from deep water to fragile land. Storm surge turns the meeting point between land and sea into a moving frontier.
On a storm coast, the Pacific Ocean moves in both directions at once, pushing inland and pulling the shoreline back toward the sea.
That erosion is often created by this repealed exchange, as the Pacific Ocean removes material with each retreat and returns with new force.
This is how the Pacific Ocean amplifies its own impact, using earlier damage to carry later waves farther inland.
Below the surface, the Pacific Ocean is grinding, lifting, sorting, and carrying pieces of the coast with every pulse. The Pacific Ocean leaves behind patterns that show where water climbed, where currents turned, and where the land gave way. The Pacific Ocean is both destroyer and sculptor, breaking the coast apart while shaping the next version of the shoreline. The Pacific Ocean is both destroyer and sculptor, breaking the coast apart while shaping the next version of the shoreline. Every retreating flow carries pieces of the coastline back into the Pacific Ocean. Cliffs resist the Pacific Ocean for centuries, yet every storm removes another invisible layer. After the strongest impact, the Pacific Ocean continues working through smaller movements that still alter the land. Natural coastlines recover slowly, but the Pacific Ocean always leaves behind evidence of where its power reached. That the coastline records the storm in patterns, showing where the Pacific Ocean pushed hardest and where the land yielded. Even as the storm begins to pass, the Pacific Ocean remains restless, carrying leftover surge, swell, and turbulence across the coast. The Pacific Ocean can appear to calm quickly, but the energy of a storm continues moving through waves long after the sky begins to clear. The Pacific Ocean does not separate earthquakes, tsunamis, storms, and coastlines. It connects them through one vast moving system.
The Pacific Ocean has shown its force at the coast, and in the final chapter,
the story will return to the open sea the Pacific Ocean never truly stops, even after earthquakes, tsunamis, and superstorms have passed.
From above, the Pacific Ocean may look calm again, but calm is only one moment in a much larger cycle.
The Pacific Ocean remembers every force through motion, through temperature, through currents, and through the endless rhythm of the sea. Beneath the surface, the Pacific Ocean continues to move in layers long after the sky begins to clear.
The ocean's greatest movements are often hidden below what the eye can see.
Storms pass across the surface, but the deep Pacific Ocean keeps moving with ancient patience.
Below the sea, the same geological forces continue to press, bend, and store energy for the future.
The Pacific Ocean is never finished with its story, because the earth beneath it is still alive. The same ocean basin that produces earthquakes and tsunamis also holds the deep structures that keep the planet changing. That the Pacific Ocean is not a place where disasters simply end, but a living system where every ending becomes the beginning of another movement. The Pacific Ocean is not a place where forces disappear, but a vast system where energy is stored, transferred, and renewed.
Every layer of the Pacific Ocean connects the restless seafloor below with the changing sky above.
Peace in the Pacific Ocean is never emptiness. It is the quiet movement of a planet still alive. That these currents carry heat, nutrients, and motion across the Pacific Ocean long after storms have vanished from the sky. The same Pacific Ocean that carries tsunami energy also carries the warmth that can feed future storms. The Pacific Ocean always holds two truths at once: beauty at the surface and power beneath. After great violence, the Pacific Ocean can look peaceful again, but its silence is only the next chapter beginning. That every swell moving across the Pacific Ocean is part of a continuous exchange between wind, water, heat, and gravity. What appears to be empty ocean is actually a moving map of energy spread across the largest sea on Earth. The Pacific Ocean never truly rests, because beneath every calm wave, the planet continues to move.
The Pacific Ocean never truly rests, because beneath every calm wave, the planet continues to move.
The Pacific Ocean carries the memory of earthquakes, tsunamis, and superstorms, not as scars alone, but as motion continuing. Even when the surface becomes smooth, the Pacific Ocean is still exchanging heat, pressure, and movement with the world around it. Below the surface, the Pacific Ocean continues its hidden circulation, carrying energy through layers the eye can barely understand. This layered movement connects the storm above, the wave across the surface, and the tectonic force waiting far below. The Pacific Ocean is not defined only by disaster, but by the constant motion that makes life, weather, and geology part of one system. Every depth of the Pacific Ocean belongs to the same story, from the bright surface to the hidden floor where Earth's crust still shifts.
Beneath the Pacific Ocean, the ring of fire may appear silent again, but silence does not mean the planet has stopped changing.
The same seafloor that once released energy may one day store it again, continuing the endless cycle beneath the sea.
The Pacific Ocean is a continuous bridge between Earth's deep pressure, the moving sea, and the changing sky.
The Pacific Ocean connects the silent floor of the Earth with every wave, storm, and current moving above it. That the Pacific Ocean is never a still emptiness, but a constantly moving system carrying the memory of Earth's power. Every layer of the Pacific Ocean carries a different kind of motion, from deep pressure to surface wind. After each disturbance, the Pacific Ocean absorbs the energy, redistributes it, and continues moving.
The surface beauty of the Pacific Ocean never erases the power hidden beneath it.
This calm Pacific Ocean is not the end of the story, but the visible face of a deeper cycle still unfolding.
From this height, the Pacific Ocean appears peaceful, yet every pattern on the sea is shaped by wind, gravity, heat, and the motion of the planet.
The Pacific Ocean is a living force of the planet, always changing, always carrying energy, and always waiting for the next. The Pacific Ocean is a living force of the planet, always changing, always carrying energy. That what seems like calm on the Pacific Ocean surface is only one moment in an endless cycle of planetary motion. Beneath every wave, the Pacific Ocean still connects deep pressure, surface motion, atmospheric heat, and the coastlines shaped by its force. The Pacific Ocean is not separated into disasters and calmness, but held together by one continuous movement of sea, sky, and earth. The same unseen places that began this story remain beneath the Pacific Ocean, still storing heat, pressure, and possibility. Earthquakes may begin beneath the seafloor, tsunamis may cross the sea, and superstorms may rise from warm water. The Pacific Ocean is not an enemy and not a sleeping giant, but a living expression of a planet that is always shifting.
To understand the Pacific Ocean is to understand that beauty and danger can exist in the same water, held together by the motion of Earth.
The Pacific Ocean is where earthquakes can begin, where tsunamis can rise, where superstorms can grow.
At the edge of the desert, a hidden ocean world is waiting beneath the heat. From above, this sea looks too hot, too dry, and too salty for life. But beneath this burning surface, the ocean is not empty. This ocean is shaped by heat, salt, sunlight, and survival. Above the surface is desert. Below it, another world begins. The moment we enter the sea, the desert disappears. Here, the ocean becomes a city of color, shelter, and movement. Every corner of this sea gives life a place to hide, feed, and survive. In this ocean, survival often begins by moving together. This is the mystery of the Red Sea. How does life flourish in a hot and salty ocean? To answer that mystery, we must look closer at how this ocean builds life from hardship. The reef survives because each tiny organism plays a role in the ocean's larger design. In this ocean, survival begins with finding protection before danger arrives. The open ocean gives them space, but the reef gives them safety. Alone, each fish is fragile. Together, they become harder for the ocean's hunters to break. In this sea, every movement is a decision between feeding and being eaten. The reef is more than beauty. It is a fortress built by life itself. After every moment of danger, the ocean returns to its quiet rhythm. Some creatures survive this ocean not by strength, but through ancient partnerships. In the Red Sea, life survives because every small relationship strengthens the entire ocean world. A single partnership may seem small, but in this ocean, small connections hold the reef together. The reef is not one living thing.